I just... We gotta see how quickly I can do this today. I don't want to be without this keyboard. This keyboard costs me like $100. All right, nobody heard that. Nobody saw it. Nobody heard that. Tripped over my own mic cable. Stupid mic cable. All right. All right, all right, all right. All right. Here we go. Let's get all the tiny RC car parts out of the way. I think I've done just about all the physical design I can do with the tiny RC cars. So now I gotta do the circuit board, which is not all that exciting. And to do that circuit board, we gotta go back to the, what you call it? We gotta go back. Gotta go back to the breadboard. I gotta figure out how I'm gonna filter out noise. That's the tough part. What's going on with the song? The connectors I wanna use for the RC car are on back order also, so I've got to wait for those. Oh man, all right, I'm trying to wake up. I had a Red Bull. I'll get there. Like an insulin pump, took all my sleep from me. Ah, train wreck. My God, what has he done? How's everybody doing? I could get my key puller, but I don't think I need the key puller. Not when I've got the covers off. Should we just like go? Is just go time? I think it's just go. I think it's just go time. I think we just go because I got a lot of work to do and it's pretty tedious. Oh God, what is my hair doing? It's like 1,000 degrees out and it's as humid as it's ever been. I am hiding in the basement where I get a slight semblance of coolness from the central air. Slight, a little bit. But man, I went outside and all of my hair puffed out because of the humidity. That's always fun. All right. 10 seconds of metronomic. Thank you for providing me music. I really do appreciate it. Hey, what are you doing? Playing Tarkov? Of course he's playing Tarkov. That's all he does, play Tarkov. All right. Shirt number 2. It's laundry day. It was actually a dirty shirt. It's already got stains on it. But I mean, if you want to hate on me for something, you can hate on me for wearing flannels. It's fine. There's always got to be something. So sick of it. What's up, Obteen? Anyway, let's start working on this thing. We're doing maintenance today. This is God, this is annoying. I did a bad thing right before I went to bed 3 nights ago. I guess I ended up knocking over whatever I was drinking into the keyboard. And then I come back downstairs the next day and yeah, it was sitting in a puddle of its own shame, plugged in, which is real bad. So I am going to pull all of the keys out of this keyboard, and we are going to have a fun time being grossed out. For those of you in chat who seem to exist solely to piss me off by making their little quippy comments and trying to get under my skin, there is going to be nothing but opportunities for you to do that here, you pieces of shit. So if you want to make a little quippy comment, give it a little bit of time, because this is going to get gross. We got to clean out this keyboard. And it's not that this keyboard has been neglected. This is not the most disgusting keyboard. If you want the most disgusting keyboard, take a look at Rob Oz's pictures of his keyboard. That thing was a nightmare. Like, I mean, I guess he used it as a cafeteria tray for most of its life or something like that. What did you say when you ruined the keyboard? I didn't ruin it. Well, actually, it is kind of ruined right now. What happens right now... oh, boy, a little coughing. When I plug this in... By the way, I fixed this. I bathed this thing in alcohol, front and back, and I tried to get into the interstitial space between this metal plate and the circuit board, and I made sure that there was no gunk on this. I basically sprayed it with alcohol with the with these things, these little cans that I got. These things are pretty cool. You can put your own liquid in it, and you just pressurize it with air. And then I had an alcohol sprayer, so I put rubbing alcohol in this one. I do have 99% isopropyl on its way still. I think I probably get that package today, which that'll replace this, because this is the emergency keyboard spray, basically. So I sprayed it, and then I put it in front of a fan to dry off. And I was using alcohol as sort of a water displacement material. Put it in front of the fan to dry off, gave it a little bit of time, and then tried it. And it worked for just a little bit. Just a little bit. I was sitting there and I was doing what we were doing yesterday in AutoCAD. My hands look swollen. Hands look a little swollen. Maybe I have extreme allergies today. That's a little... Usually I can see some veins. Weird. Anyway. So, did what we did yesterday with AutoCAD and trying to create a part in AutoCAD. And so I was entering the numbers, and sometimes the numbers wouldn't enter. And I'm like, what's up with this lag? Why isn't it doing anything? So I had to hold down the number, and then it would eventually go in, but it would like lag or you know, a bunch of key presses would come in all at once. So eventually that led to this thing no longer functioning. When I plug this into the hub, the little light turns on, and all the lighting on this thing functions, which, by the way, a lot of stuff has to function properly for the lights to come on, because the lights are PWM controlled by the main controller, which sits just behind here. So all that stuff came on. When I press a key, the little light turns off. The little light for the USB port turns off whenever I press a key. So either it's attempting communication, it's not getting a key press, or something else, some kind of weird other problem. Used to spill stuff on my keyboard. I could clean it 3 times using isopropyl, but then the plastic keycaps broke. Blah, 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 blah. Listen, so this keyboard has been through the ringer multiple different times. I know it intimately, in and out. This is just basically your Cherry MX clears. I know where the control key is, by the way. It's just, I just put it aside because it keeps falling off. Cherry MX keys, and I believe this comes from WASD. So it is a very simple keyboard. It used to have, in the earlier models that I had, it used to have a standoff, like a riser board sitting over here. And the riser board over here had the brain on it. So I was able to pluck that, clean it off, and put it back on. It's in an unfortunate spot, though, because this is where things just splash onto the keyboard. Like, I was filling a drink, and I once had a little tiny splash hit this area. That's bad if your keyboard controller is right there. So what they did is they said, man, you know what? We should just integrate the controller with the circuit board for the rest of it. And so what they did is they didn't even move it. It's in the same spot. It's all the controlling stuff is just now on the board. So I'm going to unplug this. And we'll see that this connector is red. The annoying part of this is that this connector is in an area where it can be soaked. So it is red. It's red. The thing that I spilled on this was red. And so now that connector is also red. It has a USB-C connector, which is anchored here, and then just enough cable to get to the keyboard. I gotta make sure that this didn't rust, because I did get water in here. I sprayed it with alcohol, though, and then I sprayed it out with compressed air. Yeah, it's looking pretty good. All right, so let's get down to it. We gotta remove all the keys, and then I need to start desoldering all of these switches because of this fucking metal plate right here. This metal plate is the source of most of my woes, because it blocks access to the actual circuit board, what I need to clean. So here we go. Now I'm just gonna make a pile of keys. I think what I need to do, I may put these in a colander and like actually wash them off in the sink. But I have clear rubber bands on it so that the LED, what I replaced on these, the LED can actually shine through. I replaced all these with orange LEDs on stream a long time ago. And I got my keyboard to be orange like the rest of my stuff. Basically, it functions a lot like the mouse that I have. If I click the mouse, it goes blue and then fades back to orange. That's a little clumsy, but... Yeah, I used to do quad drones. I wanted to do a racing drone, but it became too much work. I kind of abandoned it. I abandoned my boy. I should get back to them because they're a whole hell of a lot of fun and they get you outside, right? Hand wire my own custom keyboard. One thing that I learned during the saga is that these are actually RGB LEDs, and when this keyboard goes into a factory reset mode, they flash red, which was jarring because I plugged the keyboard in and the only LEDs that communicate anything were flashing red. These little even pieces of plastic. Get those out of the way. Got a lot of work to do. Got a lot of work to do. But I want my keyboard back, god damn it. Ugh. This is revealing all of the disgusting stuff that I've been up to with this keyboard. It's going to be a lot of beard hair. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to get to the point where I build my own keyboard. I don't think I'm going to get that crazy. I don't want to. That's too much responsibility. I mean, we're practically going through the steps of building our own keyboard today. I'm going to end up probably putting a little dielectric grease in all of these keycaps. All the buttons, that is. Oh boy, it's starting to get gross. Starting to get gross. Yep, here's all the hair. I think I'm not going to bother with the hair because I'm going to desolder the keys. Once we get the keys out, then I can just clean the entire thing at once. These are getting hard to pick up. It should be relatively easy for me to just uncap all of these. Yeah, I don't want to... Your own custom layout. Jesus Christ. No, man. That's going off the deep end there. That's going off the deep end. I don't know. Some people are crazy. They do all kinds of crazy shit. I don't need that. I don't need that in my life. You're making your own custom... Oh, man, dude. I mean, hey, it's fun, though. And you have the ability to skin it in wood, which is pretty classy. Custom split 70%. I would have to put the whole thing into Fusion 360 if I were to do something like that. I mean, a friend of mine, like, configured his own custom thing, and he was, like, buying springs and special dielectric grease, which is, it's not special dielectric grease, you know. I just can't fathom people believing the wank that they put on the, on their website. Like, this special grease we selected and formulated specifically to blah, blah, blah. Like, okay, you guys just put dielectric grease with it. That's it. This is really getting gross. You guys should be thankful that you're so far away right now. Is this looking a little fisheye? This looks a little fisheye, doesn't it? I don't know. I forget what zoom level we have the camera at. I think it's got like a 90-degree field of view, which makes everything a little bit fisheye for this webcam. Yeah, I think if we look at No, that's actually pretty good. All right, never mind. Looking at the desk mat to see whether or not it's flat or curved. I guess it's on a pretty good level right now, right? I'm gonna split keyboards so that I could have my hands at different angles to help with carpal tunnel. Yeah, that's tough. I have not had the pleasure of having carpal tunnel. I thought I had carpal tunnel. Turns out I was just lifting weights wrong. But my method of combating... Get over here, you fucking... Okay. My method of combating carpal tunnel is having a lot of desk so that my hands are flatter going into the keyboard. That is disgusting. Whoa. All right, so a couple things have to go before I can remove this plate. These switches are all, unfortunately, clipped in. Not clipped, but they are retaining this piece of metal, what I need to wash off and de-hair. There's a lot of beard hair in this fucking thing. Oh my God, it's disgusting. So what I need to do is I need to remove the LED and the key. And if we are going to be removing high volumes of stuff, I'm gonna need the big soldering iron tip. We're gonna use the big tip because these are big, non-complicated buttons. And there's 104 of them. Now this should all go into a colander, except for the lever bars. But we'll just make a pile of them over here. We'll just make a pile of them over here. Those are going to be right in my way, though, actually. So I'm going to put them in the frame. Get them out of the way. This is going to be a deep clean because I'm scared that the microcontroller on this thing is busted. I think maybe a deep clean, and we might put yeah, we could use that. It's going to be a deep clean. It's a code tenkeyless from WASD keyboards, if you're wondering. Type Cherry MX Clear. There's the serial number, designed and customized in the USA. Codekeyboards.com and WASDkeyboards.com. This is actually Twisted Sister was the one that showed me this keyboard, and then another friend of mine tried it once, and now he loves using these. My problem with it, and we've talked about this in the stream projects section. My problem with it, IEDs or LEDs. It depends on the voltage. You also have a code keyboard at the moment. Oh, hey, cool. Yeah, I like them. They're pretty good, except that you can see right here, this little fucking guy right here, this little guy right here is a piece of crap. It's not really a piece of crap. It's a good controller, but my problem with it is that it cannot be dunked in fluids because it is so sensitive. This camera's a little sensitive too. I'm shaking it just by touching. Why are you like this? Usually you're a little bit more stable. Wow, that is really unstable. Why is my... Oh my God, why is it so unstable today? What's going on? What's good, man? Why are you flipping the fuck out? Jeez. All right, guess I just got to be careful today. Yeah, my problem. No, that is what I meant. Yeah, that's what I meant below. I reverse engineered IEDs. Why would I reverse engineer LEDs? We already know everything about those. Yeah, this little controller right here, got an EEPROM for settings, some transistory doobie-doos. Over here, we have, I believe this is like a PWM controller, and then outs to all of the LEDs. No, I was not EOD. No. I was contractor. But yeah, I like this keyboard. I really wish that they made these keyboard controllers to use higher voltages in their buttons. I know that would be to the detriment of the contacts inside of the button, but I honestly, like, this thing just gives up the ghost at the drop of a hat. Yeah, it sucks. I spilled shit on the keyboard, and I totally bathed it. You can see how clean this board is, but it still refuses to work properly. So we got to remove a lot of keys and LEDs all at the same time. How are we going to do that without melting the structure of the board? The thought was, like, I could use hot air. I could use the hot air gun and you know, get at this stuff all at once. Is that going to work out? Should I do that? Maybe we should do hot air. If that's going to let me work a little faster, let's try it. Maybe the big iron, the big soldering iron is, you know, my go-to, but I think maybe we're in a situation where hot air is going to allow me to progress this much faster. After all, I gotta consider that I am streaming this and not doing this personally, which I would have been doing anyway, but I have to consider that I gotta keep it entertaining. Gotta keep entertaining. So let's put down a silicone rubber mat. That's gonna partially protect my surface from any nasty heat. We're gonna get the thermal camera going, because it'll be fun. Fun! With a capital UN. Yeah, I think it'll hold up. I've got that mat. Yeah, it's a decent mat. I don't like this as like a normal soldering surface because it gets really disgusting. The silicone kind of holds on to like dust and crap. Whereas this mat, this cutting mat, I can use the knife on and not worry about scratching it and stuff. But this protects this mat from the heat, because when this mat gets hot, it warps. It just really doesn't like heat. Using the SSO2 is the move from somebody that builds a lot of keyboards. Well, we got it. I could use it. I'm gonna see if I can just drop the keys out. Do I have a backup keyboard? That's right there. That's been my backup keyboard. It's actually wireless, believe it or not. But I use it wired. I need to buy a backup mechanical keyboard. I used to have one, but it ended up in a festival project, and then it kind of got rolled into shop equipment at a friend's shop. So it's not mine anymore, I guess. There's a statute of limitations. It really is statute of limitations territory, because he's had it for like 6 years, 8 years. It's not mine anymore, chat. Okay, thermals. They are currently on or off. I don't know. Let's turn them on. And then I need to go to properties. I need to deactivate them and then reactivate them. There we go. Look at how reliable they are now. It's so nice to have them in their own little 3D printed enclosure, just because I don't have to worry about pressing the thermal unit into that terrible socket. That socket sucks. And I need to get a drink. I'm not gonna push myself too hard today, guys. Entertaining keyboard fire, I suppose. If you wanna think about it that way. I don't know why everybody thinks I'm such a bumbling idiot. That gets to you after a little while, right? All right, hot air is probably the way to go with this, just because it means that I can heat up all the parts of the key and then it'll just pop out. I wish I had the ability to take the controller out. The thing that could be going wrong with the controller is that it's possible that liquid infiltrated the clock. If it did, I'm in trouble. I don't think I have a replacement clock for this thing. I could maybe MacGyver one in there, but I have a feeling it's the clock. I have a feeling that if I flow over this stuff a little bit, it might fix itself. But I think the primary issue that I'm having with it right now is that the keys are probably, liquid probably got into the key itself, and I need to investigate that, and I think that's where the problem is. I think therein lies the problem. And I would like to look at the other side of the board, because I'm pretty sure that there's some disgusting shit on the other side of this. I'm pretty sure it's had its day. So, all right, let's get started. Do I have something to prop the keyboard up on? Not really. I have a lithium-ion battery that I could put under it. No. I could just put the vise on the desk. Maybe the block of aluminum is the way to go. The aluminum block. Let me grab it. Herp. Bonk. We'll do this, and then I can just put this there, because I want somewhere for them to drop. And they're not exactly being held in place. It's so pointy. I hate the pointiness of it. All right, 500 degrees Celsius air. Let's fucking go. If I totally obliterate the key, I'm going to be annoyed. Am I going to have to use flux? It's going to be a lot of flux if I got to use flux. Let's just preheat it a little bit around here. Just get some heat going into this board. Bum, 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 bum. They're not really clipped in. I think they're just holding that part in. So the soldering iron might be the more elegant way to do this. I'm starting to figure out. Yeah, it looks like I'm damaging the plastic. Is that getting too soft? No, it looks like it can handle it to a degree. Get it? Problem is I don't have spare MX clears, so if I ruin one, I'm in trouble. Yeah, I think the iron's the way to go on this thing. I'm a little scared of what... Also, I'm smelling the the Slogan that I spilled in here. Interesting heat gun. This is a Quick 8610W hot air station. It's the one Louis Rossmann uses. Chat got it for me because it triggers me. I would complain about Louis Rossmann, and so they bought me his equipment. Okay. It's got the very, very expensive 45-degree angle adapter, which is important because that means that I can get the microscope on this and observe what I'm doing. Also, this is just not working. All right. Fuck that. 500 degrees Celsius air. Failed. We're just doing the big iron. I do have tacky flux, too, that I can throw at it. That whole area of the board is piping hot, isn't it? Now, using the SSO2, I guess I could remove the solder, or I can just come at it like this, and it'll fall out. Yeah, this is a much more elegant way. That key is going to be a little bit gross from all that hot air. We need to do this quickly, too. Because I got a lot of keys to go over. Alright, maybe removing the LED first is the way to go. Which means we've got a lot of LEDs to go here. I'll need something that can kind of grip them. Maybe forceps will do. Na 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 na. This is a little awkward. What's going on here? Well, I need something that's going to hold on to the board. I need to get the big vise if I'm going to do this. I need something to hold on to the board while I yank this stuff out. All right, let's see here. Do I do big vise, just crunch it? Yeah, it did take the whole stream, but I had a lot of different work to do when I did that. Bum, bum, ba-dum, bum, bum, ba-dum, bum. All right, let's see. Something to hold on to this so that I can yoink these things out quickly. The whole thing here is that I got to develop a way to do this fast because it's a whole keyboard. It's a whole damn keyboard. My belt does that thing where the belt link kind of slips. Hold on. Put my belt on so my pants don't fall down in the middle of this. There we go. Stupid thing. It does that thing where like the little latch for the belt or whatever it is just goes like this and then it falls in and then it lets go. If you have low temp solder, no, I'm not gonna do that. That's too expensive. That shit is too expensive to waste. I don't have a dip puller. I don't like those. I don't like dip pullers. They don't work very well. They do more damage than they're worth. Probably get the silicon mat out of here too. All right, so that'll just hold on to it for a minute while I yoink the keys. Right, let's go all the way over here. We got to take the keys apart, I think. I think part of the problem is that the keys themselves have shit in them. We'll have to investigate that. It might look hot, but it's actually not. For the switches, the dip puller's good. Yeah. I don't have one, though. It's like on my shit list of equipment that I don't need. That's all it's going to take to pull the LEDs. Those will be nice and fast, at the very least. Oh God, they're getting stuck magnetically to the forceps, which is not tolerable. I need to use plastic tweezers. All right, welcome to the Tedium Dome, everybody. Just remember that ground goes towards my body. You fuck. It's like they're sticking. All right, fine. I use like something that's not magnetic. What do we got here? I got ceramic tweezers that were sent in. These things are annoying because they've got too much spring force. Looks like you're pulling teeth. Good use of the Robos emote. I don't like these. They're too springy. Ugh, and they don't really grip. I wonder if my normal tweezers would hold on to them too much. Oh man, but the forceps gave me really good grip. Yeah, this sucks. All right, fine. Back to the forceps, I guess. Just have to tolerate the magnetism of them. Maybe the other ones aren't as magnetic. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know how I demagnetize them. I mean, what, like put them through? Oh, this one. These aren't magnetic. These will do. I want to put a little dielectric grease inside of these too, but we'll take apart a key in just a second here. We'll do a little preliminary investigation once I get the top row of LEDs out. One at a time. Just the big soldering iron is able to hit both pads at once, and it just lets it slide right out. There'll be a lot of soldering to get these things back in. But I guess this is what it takes now, since a washdown wasn't enough to get this running again. It might be permanently dead, which I'm not happy about. I don't want to spend all that money to get another keyboard. Get something cheap, I don't know. What a dumb mistake I made, right? Fall cleaning, yeah. Good stainless ones. Well, these are cheap shit that I just have. Not everybody can get surgical forceps, you know? Alright, come on, heat. Get in there. Last one on the row is gonna fight me. Why are you fighting? What the hell, man? Would you just... Jeez. Alright, there we go. Heat. Yes, heat, please. What the fuck? This one's like really fighting me. I don't know. This one just will not. This one will not cooperate. Maybe I need to add a little solder to the iron. Adding solder to the iron is kind of a no-no, but I'm doing it. Doing it. I'm breaking the rules. Some flux. How about some flux? Look at this flux. This chuckle flux. Okay, get that. Get a little bit of heat in there. A little bit of the heat. Yeah, I can yoink this thing after all. Oh, that is just not cooperating, is it? Jesus Christmas. There we go. There we go. All right. Yeah, those contacts were not clean. All right, so now for the switches. Switches get stitches. Bad boy of the soldering community. He's breaking all the rules. So how are we gonna do this? Because I don't have a dip puller. I might, but it's probably buried. So this one might be a little bit melted, so it might be a bad example. What can I grab onto? Well, I can grab the part that I'm not supposed to grab, right there, and then heat the contacts as I pull, see if it's locked in any way. I'm not going to use chip quick on this because it's just too expensive. There'll be a lot of chip quick, you know? Keeping both of these melted at the same time is actually proving to be difficult, and I can't quite bridge the gap with the iron. Well, I can almost. Could add a little solder and then do it. We gotta come up with a technique that's gonna work here. This doesn't appear to be moving it at all either. Am I gonna have to desolder all of these and remove them as one? I thought I could remove the individual key, like it would come out of the metal of its own volition. But if it's snapped in any way, well, it looks like it is. Shit. Okay, so because that's snapped in, I could pull the key individually. There's like a little bit, there's just a little bit of like a space right there. So if I had like a little pincer on it, I could probably wiggle it out. But it seems like I'm gonna have to use the solder sucker on the pins, and then I can remove the whole backing at once. God, that's gonna be annoying. God, is that gonna be oh so annoying. Oh lordy. All right, we ready to get intimate with the solder sucker? That's where hot air would have been, you know, nice. All right, time to remove like 100 LEDs from this fucking thing, because I guess that's got to go next, right? I got to remove all the LEDs, and then I need to desolder all of the pins for the switches, and then, and only then, will I be able to grab the backing and remove it and clean it properly and get behind it. I'm scared of what I'm going to find behind all of this stuff. Yeah, here we go. I wish these just fell out with gravity. That would make this so much easier. But now I gotta like position the forceps, grip, find the pins, heat the pins, pull. Go. Oh, no, that one's getting stuck. Keyboards are a pain in the butt, aren't they? How is y'all doing, chat? I mean, the alternative today is that we could have worked on the RC car stuff a little bit, but I need to do breadboarding for that. And I did a little bit of research. I found some configurations of coils. For the most part, people are quieting down brushed motors by just putting a 0.1 UF cap on the output. We found that didn't work. So we got to really chase down whatever it is that's causing those little noise spikes that takes out the rest of my electronics. It's weird because we got it with all of the motors and all of the different controllers. Like I used the old DOS microcontroller with that, and it's still, with the MOSFETs and the breadboard and everything, and it still produced that little noise spike that kills it. The Plasma Dash can't take capacitors to its shell. So I can't do that. There's some method of like using MOSFET, or not MOSFETs, of using, what are they called? Is it the code V3? Code, I don't know what V this is. V2B. No, V3B. V3B, yeah. It doesn't really survive spills all that well. But it is code. I like my code keyboards. Got a good feel. But they don't really enjoy water all that much. Yeah, you can't even take the tops off without unsnapping it. God damn it. And see, what I'm trying to do is get into the keys, because I've never done that with this one. And I have a feeling, because of the feel of the keys, it feels like some of the stuff that I spilled, I don't know how it would have gotten into the key itself. Maybe it didn't. Maybe I'm just weird. But something's up with this. Something weird is up with this. And I hope it's not the controller giving up the ghost. I really hope the controller isn't giving up the ghost on this one. What's the point of having the thermal camera in general? It's because it is an extra sensory perception device. It gives us another sense. We have the sense of heat, which is really cool. That's the only reason it exists. Let me try to give you guys a little bit more of a cinematic angle of this fucking annoying busy work that I'm doing. I'm sweating. I'm gonna move the fan. Hold on. I'm sweating. What is the point? What is the point of having a camera if you're not soldering? Why would you even have a camera? Why stream? Why is anything? Why even get out of bed in the morning? What's wrong with you, streamer? Why'd you get out of bed this morning? You fucking asshole, streamer, piece of shit. Oh, the recycle bin is outside. This is recycling day. All right, I guess that goes there. Just where it belongs, right? On the floor. All right, opening up another soda because I need all the caffeine. Bladder made me get out of bed. Hey now. Why get out of bed if you're just gonna get back into it? You know? What's the point? Why is anything? We don't need the mat anymore. The mat's kind of annoying, but throw drop. What in the world does that even mean? All right, where are we? We're over here. Over here. So yeah, welcome to the Tedium Dome, everybody. This is now a podcast until I get to the next stage. Everybody was like particularly slow today. I actually did go out into society and we're about 50-50 on masks. I'm not sure whether or not I should be wearing one. I guess I probably should. I'm of a mind that I really do not want to get any strain of fucking COVID, no matter what. Even if the Delta strain would just be like a cold to me, I just don't want to get it, you know? Like I have a friend who only just recently got a sense of taste back after a couple months. I don't want to do that. I like food. I mean, it would be a really good kick for me to lose weight as if all food lost its flavor, but I don't think that's a good idea. If you want to suppress the electrical arcing from the commutation, you need a snubber network, not just a capacitor. It needs to absorb the energy. Yeah, so the methods that I was looking at were that 0.1 UF cap, and we tried that and it didn't work. And so the thought was I put in a Schottky diode that would block reverse current, and then have a big capacitor on the other side, on the other side of the Schottky diode. So when that electrical event happened during that millisecond, it would then be powered off of the capacitor and be able to still function. But that didn't work. Will you be soldering the LEDs back? Yeah, everything's got to go back in. But I think one of the big things that I need to do is clean out the inside of these keys. The reason we're doing this and not what I planned to do, well, is first of all, because this came up because I fucking spilled a bunch of sticky bullshit on this keyboard. And also, I need to get this done, so we're kind of like podcasting as we go. It's unfortunately a very repetitive task, but we'll get into the cherry switches once I can get them out. So the sooner I can get this done, the better. I just need to do the factory process real quick. I have mixed feelings about losing taste. I could lose so much weight in 3 months. I know, right? I'm not too excited about that. Oh, it's just a mild cold, but it's like, dude, that shit fucks like hard. It's not good. So I don't know. I mean, I guess my state is going back to mandates of masks and shit. So I'm gonna be wearing a mask, I guess, now on. Such is life. Bum 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 bum. How about we just do like an overall view, and that way I don't have to worry about keeping myself like, this is normally like the hand cam and you usually don't see me, but I think for this I need to just move out all the way back over here and you guys can just see my fat ass removing removing stuff. What's up, Metric Fox? How you doing? Yeah, this will be a better view. Hopefully. It's hard because I can't monitor what you guys can see and what you can't during this process. Usually I'm in control. I'm in control of the visuals. I control the vertical and the horizontal. But I got about 1,500 LEDs to remove from this thing, so I'm just gonna park you guys at an angle and just keep working at it. You guys can see the thermals are at least cool enough. You can see how fucking hot it is in here. I'm dying. Chat, I'm dying. It's too hot in here. Too hot in the Northeast. This keyboard has been through the ringer and back. I haven't done a lot of modifications to it, but the Code keyboard comes with white LEDs, and I was like, not on my watch. And so I swapped them out for oranges. I was thinking about whether or not I wanted to do purples, but orange works really well with the rest of the accessories that I have on the desk. May need to isolate the motor speed control power from the power to any other electronics. Yeah, that's what I thought the capacitor was doing. An RC snubber goes across the wires of the DC motor, not the supply rails. I have that too, but I think I need a more comprehensive. I think I need like a coil snubber kind of weirdo circuit. If you guys got links, I would love to see them. I could look at them today, or you could put them in the Discord. But I can actually, you know, this is pretty slow, and the distraction is kind of welcome. At least we're working our brains while we're working this thing. Yeah, just trying to. So what's been happening? If you guys don't know, the people who are weighing in right now is that on the RC car circuit, which is all this crap up here. That's this stuff on the breadboard. Before I do the circuit board design, oh God, hold on, I'm coughing. I'm gonna mute so I can cough. That was disgusting. What's going on up here is I've got the specific MOSFETs, like the new type of MOSFETs that I'm gonna be using in that little tiny circuit board that we're designing for the RC cars. I've got a 130 sized motor. I didn't put a load on this. I should probably put some kind of a load on that. I should find something like an oil load or something so that this can do just a little bit of work. And then we've got the circuit for the rest of the motor controller that I put together and programmed and, you know, used a ATtiny85 to do. That's all well and good. We did a couple configurations of this thing the last time that we had this on the breadboard. And those couple of configurations were new MOSFETs, old MOSFETs, new MOSFETs with the old controller, new MOSFETs with the new controller, and they all failed because there was some kind of a noise spike when you go full throttle that took out the rest of the electronics. St. Wiggly's having a rough time right now, man. His car got hit and runned overnight. Was it overnight? No, it was like an afternoon. But anyway, St. Wiggly, thank you so much for remembering to sub with that prime. Those primes don't auto re-up. So we're gonna put St. Wiggly up on the board for the 35th month. I've been kind of like partially out of contact with a lot of people lately. I've been sort of just concentrating on work and trying to get shit done. But everybody's starting to come back to civilization, at least until we're on lockdown again. So I need to start being social. All right, let's get St. Wiggly up on the board. Thank you so much for the sub. Really appreciate it. You're incompetent buck. St. Wiggly, welcome to the board. Thank you so much for subbing. Oh no, you're squishing Fibby. Good Lord. Yeah, the commutator versus the brushes. Dude, I straight up forgot how to talk to people. I know, right? That's a little too true. Thank you, St. Wiggly. I guess we're on this view, yeah. Yeah, so what's happening is inside of the motor, you have a commutator that has brushes on it. That would be this. Oh God, this camera's all weird. It's like dream cam. Ooh, I have to calibrate this camera in a minute. You have commutators, and they're not supposed to have giant troughs in them. That was caused when we put 52 volts through this motor. But this one, this is the rotor. The rotor has a bunch of coils on it, and it's got an uneven number of coils so that it runs more smoothly. If you just had 2 magnets and 2 coils, it would be kind of a herky-jerky affair. So you get 3 coils, and then you have 3 pads over here that electrically connect those coils back to your power source. when the brushes that brush against the commutator plates, when those brushes skip contact to a different coil, an electrical arc is formed. And that electrical arc is basically a coil in the presence of a changing magnetic field, et cetera, et cetera. It's just going to induce like a hard spiking reverse current in this, back into your electrical system. And so the way that historically you would deal with such a small motor and get it to not feed back so horribly is just to put a capacitor across the leads. There are other methods where you put capacitors to the can of the motor, like to the body of the motor, but it's not really needed typically. I don't know. Like we did that capacitor on the test board and it's still tanked. So I don't know. There's a bunch of different methods that we could do. We could put all kinds of different filters on it. I'm gonna have to figure out what we do for that. So that'll come in probably like next week. I might work with it a little bit in the interim, just because it's basically I got to do homework. You know, what's up with this? It's damaged. How did that happen? I'd be careful about that. So yeah, what's happening in it is when you go full throttle, it'll just go thoop, and then everything will restart on the board. Everything will restart. And, you know, ways to solve it. We're just going to have to try a couple things. Yes, keyboard. Some people are more excited about keyboards than others. We're not doing anything too fancy with this. I'm just refurbishing like the whole thing because I spilled an alcoholic drink on it. And then it was left on overnight with that drink soaking in. And so now I don't know what the hell is wrong with it. So I want to get into the keys anyway. So it's a WASD. This keyboard's been through the ringer, man. If you ever get a code, keyboard, don't spill anything on it. Just don't. Just avoid this entirely. I need to put like I had the older version of this keyboard that I had. I actually did conformal coating on the back side. That really helped it actually. That really helped it survive a lot of stuff. I'm not sure about getting conformal coating on the clock though. All right, got a couple more rows to go here. Back over. So sorry for you, man. I know, it's all right. It's all right. I don't need your pity. I don't need your pity. It sucks though. I don't want to buy a new keyboard, but this might be the precursor to it. I would fail in my duties if I was unable to refurbish a simple keyboard. I'd have to give up my streamer badge, my electronic streamer badge. I don't have one, so I don't know how I'd give it up, but the thing about the motor circuits and eliminating noise in the motor circuits is that I don't know if I have the parts to do that. I don't know if I have all the appropriate parts to get in and what do you call it? To refurb, or sorry, I don't know if I have the coils and stuff to be able to do that. I'm gonna try to get a good view where I'm on camera. There we go. That should probably do. It's gonna at least see me talking to you while I go. Yeah, I don't know what stock of like coils and stuff I have. I mean, generic coils are probably something that's good to have, but you never know. There's such specialty devices. I think somebody was saying in here recently that like having a collection of generic capacitors is even not necessary, just because they're so specialized in the applications that you need them. So no, I was asking for those here too, because I want to take a look at them. Yeah, links are permitted. Relevant links are good. But yeah, having them in Discord would also be cool. But I'm going to open them up right now. Power tips. Calculate RC snubber. Okay, so what does the RC snubber look like? Whoa, these are big calculations here. Okay, so that's numbers. The other one is, there's the RC snubber circuit, I see. So we got the V-gate going into the MOSFET that's controlling the circuit, the board, and then you've just got an R and a C, and then your inductor, I would assume the inductor is the inductor the motor, supposedly? Take my pity bits. Thank you for the 3 bits. Shaving a haircut. All right, get at more LEDs here. Yeah, the LEDs unfortunately lock down the switches. And actually, the keycaps that I'm using on this thing are not from Code. Code, their keycaps were like $75 or something. They weren't $75, but they were expensive, right? The keycaps directly from Code, and they didn't light up properly. And it's like, why did I buy these from you? Because on the tenkeyless, I don't know what the name of this thing is, Cherry MX Clear something or other, the V3, I bought cheapo caps. They're double shot, you know, PB whatever. Double shot meaning that when they wear down, the keys will still be readable, right? I'm not replacing the buttons. No, they're still good. The double shot P whatever B whatever the hell plastic that is, that's really good stuff. That lasts a long time. But the ones that I got from Amazon that were like dollars, they were super cheap. Those have lasted the best and they light up the best. Switching frequency is proportional to the motor speed. The motor is a self-switching inductor. Yeah. Okay. You're treating me like I don't know any of this stuff, max wattage. I was just trying to see if there was an inductor in the circuit or not. Those good old RLC circuits. So yeah, instead of the inductor would be the motor, and then you've got an RC snubber on one of the leads of the motor going to ground. But like, I mean, the motor runs in both directions. I guess the RC snubber would work for everything. Yeah, I'll have to investigate that. Cause what would you put one on each leg of the motor? Or do you just need the one? Oh, did I finish that row? Oh, no, I didn't. I'm right here. Okay. We're getting there. We're almost there. We're almost where we can actually start observing switches. We'll go to the microscope for a little bit when I'm desoldering. My giant head is probably in the way. What happened? Oh, you turned off. Trying to save me from burning the house down. Because, yeah, that's designed for a full H bridge. You just need the one snubber. Because it works both directions. My understanding was there was like a set of diodes that I should be putting in to do snubbing. When these LEDs come out, the leads are really dirty, and that fills me with fear as to what's between the metal plate and the PCB. Yeah, cleaning and reflowing. I want to get between these two so that I can figure out what the hell's going on here. The keyboard has some very strange responses right now. When I plug it into USB, the little light for the USB on the hub comes on and the keyboard lights up. And when I press a button, the light goes out. Did something spill on it? Yes, 100 times yes. You gotta own up to that. And I spilled sticky liquid on it, and it sat for quite some time in the presence of such. I don't think it would have gotten into the keys, but maybe my panicked cleaning caused some issue. Why's my heat not getting into this? What's going on? That's weird. I'll add some solder to the fray. Oh yeah, I guess the soldering iron's kind of getting a little rough. Also, I think there's some shit on these. All right, let's do a little bit of tacky flux. Go a long way. I'm not certain what I want to do yet. I need to assess the damage. I mean, an alcohol bath would be good. I've got 99% isopropyl on its way. It should have been here by now, but I guess it's probably going to come today. I think I need to add solder to these. These are fighting me. Huh, yeah, those are like refusing to flow. Now they flow. It's also just the awkward angle. Be nice if I could pull on them another way, but I gotta do it like this. So, like, you know, I could have not streamed today, and I would be doing this anyway. So you guys are here for my podcast. Welcome to the wide, wonderful world of electronics. Ask me anything. Come on, buddy. Get that heat in there. Come on, you can do it. Yeah, some of these have like I don't know. It's like it's almost like rust. It's not really rust, but it's like some kind of a material on them. I don't know what it is. It's like a white powder that's kind of like formed around the LED contacts. And this is like marginally leaded solder. So it shouldn't be like tin whiskers or anything. I don't know what it is. Whew. Hey, Groovy, how's it going? How you doing? How you doing? Pulling LEDs today. It is kind of like pulling teeth, huh? We are almost there. I'm almost there. I gotta remember that the ground leg goes towards me on this. White powder and electronics. Anthrax. Yeah, there was a quick scare, huh? Have you started on the Mario Kart circuit mod yet? No, man. What do you? No. So so we got the WL Toys kit in Fusion 360, which means that I can now start modeling a body around the thing. I want to finish the electronics because that's kind of like my personal project, is getting all the electronics for the motor stuff up and running and working properly, so that I can design it so that the WL Toys kit can be this nice little chassis, right? That is one part of it, but the other part of it is adapting the Mario Kart home circuit to that kit. I don't know how well I'm going to be able to do with that. By the way, this is everything that makes the Mario Kart home circuit the Mario Kart home circuit. This is the camera that's on a stock. This contains the motor controller as well as the steering servo controller, which isn't as nimble as I think it could be when we use a 5-wire servo. So, in addition to damping the back EMF motor terminals, you also need to add suppression to the motor controller by adding diodes between each motor wire and the VCC and ground connection. Yeah, do you have a circuit for that? Because I think I'm going to need to do that. The motor back EMF pulse goes outside of the range of 0 to VCC, then the diodes conduct the energy back to the PSU rather than upsetting your circuit. See, we were just putting a barrier in there, but this is barrier and dissipate. Gotcha, Trey Pop. Yeah, the literal last stream we were working on the WL Toys thing. I feel like the anvil is no longer hot for the Mario Kart, so to speak, if you get my meaning. I wanted to strike while the anvil was hot, and if we did some questionable engineering, we probably could have gotten that to, basically send it to Djibouti Show to show off how awesome I am. And we could have made, the big Chungus cart, as well as the big Yoshi cart, as well as Dry Bones, the Super Leggera version of the Mario Kart home circuit, both with full suspension. I could have done that if I had concentrated on it, but we ran into a few stumbling blocks on that. And unfortunately, those stumbling blocks kind of tanked the project. So we didn't really, I feel like the anvil's no longer hot with that one. Nobody really knew about Mario Kart Home Circuit. I think it's one of the cooler things on the Switch. I'm actually I really like it. I think it's like really cool. But yeah, since we didn't really kind of like hit that one head on, what? Medical needle holder to hold the LEDs. Oh, forceps. Forceps are generally associated with medical stuff. And these pinch a lot harder than I think they should. By God, that must leave you with some bruises. Like if you have to have something pinched with forceps, because these seem like they pinch really hard. Neon Pixel and Stefan IRL, thank you for the follows. Oh, Stefan IRL, thanks for the host. With 216. Wait, was that a raid or just a host? Is Twitch broken again? I didn't see that at all. Stefan IRL, thank you so much for the raid of 216 people. Holds the needle, not skin. I mean, I guess, yeah, these are like if you're stitching somebody, this would be holding the needle. Forceps don't have to be medical tools. I'm using them right now as a way to grip something. Yeah, hemostat is for surgery. Okay. Well, whatever. Either way, these are easy to acquire, and they're a good tool for pinching things. Yeah, when does Stefan IRL host happen? I didn't even notice that. 6 minutes ago. Yeah, Home Circuit has a $100 barrier to play. That's true. But if you consider, or was it 100? If you consider like the cost of a tiny RC car, that's a really good price. And that thing, while not fast, having that camera stock for an HD camera so close to the ground, it felt fast. It feels like it goes very, very fast. And Louis, Lunatic Live, talked me into buying, this is what I'm talking about. Look at this. Look at this shit. Look at this shit, chat. Look at what I'm pulling out here. Oh God, this camera. I'm gonna have to calibrate this camera. This is why I'm like, gee, I should pull the plate and refurbish this whole thing. Because like, look at that. All the legs of these look like that. That ain't good. That's why I'm concerned about what is between these two plates. Yeah, it's a little scary. I got Katamari Damacy stuck in my head. I was watching Tomato play it. I love every streamer that plays Katamari. It's like the cutest thing in the world. Saw Rabaz play it, previously recorded. Had everybody there, like all the people from Red Letter Media were around. Even Mike for once. That was a long time ago. But yeah, I just love, it's like a really fun game to watch streamers play. You can't not have a good time with it. That quote unquote, you're not putting enough quotes in the air. We took apart a quote, ultrasonic cleaner. It was a $7. I went through the aisles of CVS and I just grabbed random shit, right? And so one of the things I got was an ultrasonic jewelry cleaner. And I was like, whoa, ultrasonic jewelry cleaner for $7. I wonder what this is all about. We took it apart. Yeah, rest in peace, previously recorded. They were one of my favorites, man. My channel, this channel that you're watching right now, got the one and only shout out to another streamer that they ever did. I just started streaming and I was like, yo, on their very last stream, I was the only one that they shouted out. And that netted me a total of 4 extra viewers. Whereas they typically sat around 900. But yeah, so this ultrasonic cleaner that we took apart, it was basically just it was just a vibration motor. That was it. That's all it was. $7. You put your jewelry in it and it goes brr, Big wave! Rating with a party of 8. That's a big wave. How you guys doing, man? I saw you streaming earlier. I saw you. I saw you streaming. Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. You was streaming. Yeah, everybody follow Big Wave. I was just talking about how previously recorded live, which was Red Letter Media guys doing their stream way back in the day. What's up, everybody? How you doing? And how I got their one and only shout out ever, which meant absolutely nothing for viewership. It was like 2 people were like, "Oh, hey, look, a stream," out of 900. The reason that we're doing, what are we doing right now? Well, I'm kind of got the camera like far away in like podcast mode, and I'm taking apart my keyboard because I spilled some bullshit in it. I spilled sticky liquid on this thing, and I tried to clean it off with alcohol, but like even now, I'm getting, there's little stickies. Yeah, the reason that they did shout me out was that I built a controller for them. They were gonna try to do a controller project, and so they gave a clay model to a mechanical engineer who then 3D printed it. Look at that shit. Look at all that gunk on the LED that I'm pulling out. All of the LEDs look like this. I'm so afraid of what we're gonna find. What we're gonna find between the metal plate here and the circuit board. Whatever's in there is probably cursed. But yeah, the reason they gave me a shout out was because I built a controller for them. I did the electronics of it. Nowadays, I'm so much more proficient at... Oh, that's disgusting. You guys should be happy that you're so far away. I'm so much more proficient in both 3D printing and mechanical and electrical design that I would love to take another stab at that. But I mean, Jack Packard has offered to come on the show for like an hour and talk about some of that stuff, but we've never really gotten back to that project. It was called Project Hornet because it had this cursed shape to it. Looked a little bit like a weird deviant Nintendo controller. But I don't know. I mean, controllers like that exist. The reason they wanted to do that was because they were typically on a couch playing PC. And so what they wanted was a controller that they could have in their left hand. You guys are probably just looking at my hair right now. They wanted a controller that they could hold in their left hand and still have the ability to like walk in a game. All right, this isn't. They didn't want to have like a one of those bean things that you put on your. Speaking of spills, closing that Coke bottle might be wise. I like to live dangerously. Is it possible to disconnect those buttons without permanent damage? Yeah, that's what we're doing right now. Did the ultrasonic cleaner vibrate at 20 kilohertz? Whatever motor or whatever speed a DC motor vibrates at, right? All right, let me get it's like 3 more LEDs. Let me just get them out of here, and then we'll move on to the solder sucking. I know you guys are here just to watch this suck. That bother guy is only good when he sucks. There we go. All of these are disgusting. Every single LED is just disgusting. I fear for what I'm going to find when we get the buttons out. We're gonna flip over to the microscope. I'm gonna calibrate it. God damn it! I slipped. Flip over to the microscope, calibrate it, make it look pretty, and then we'll start yanking. We'll start desoldering all of the buttons. All right, what's going on here? The LED retracted, and so I no longer have the pads to go on. So I'm just going to hit it with a bunch of solder. I miss prereq. Every now and then I go back, previously recorded, I go back and I watch their FTL runs. Those are always the best. The FTL runs were all when they were at their best, I think. They decided to just kind of like stop. They were like, we're done. Never got, like, you know, raids weren't a thing back then. I could have given them raids. I could have given Rich Evans raids. By any means possible. Okay, this is not soldering. What's going on? I don't want to add flux, because then it'll be a total fluxy mess. I'm just going to do a little bit of solder on the end. There's a hot spot on my head. Is it my calic? Sorry, I got to lean over to do this. I got to lean in front of the camera. I'll come back to you guys in a minute. Give me a minute. Bum, 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 bum. I always, one thing that I loved about Prereq was when Jay was on, because it would just be like a laundry list of cool movies to watch. I don't know where those guys get their movie recommendations from, but I got mine from them when they stopped streaming. Beppis? What? Is there a coating on the... Yeah, there maybe. I don't know. I gave this thing a couple alcohol baths, so... Not like submerged bath, but like sprayed it enough to count as a bath. And I don't know what's remaining on the board. Oh, crap. Half of them are sticking to this thing. Because of the magnet in it. I don't want the silicone mat is really annoying to work with. I'm just going to stick to the desk. Not literally stick to the desk. I mean, I'm going to use the desk. Okay, let us move on. I need to calibrate this thing. I use Pantene Pro V once a day, every day. That's why I have really good hair, believe it or not. I should probably put these in alcohol, huh? They're filthy. They're all like sticking to each other too. It's weird. It's weird. It's weirding me out. All right, solder sucking. So we're gonna come over to this side. Who was it that found the O-scope? That was Iron Pariah in the Discord. He doesn't ever watch the stream. He's just in my Discord. All right. So I don't use beard oil, no. Beard oil can help, but I mean, I just trim it. If my beard grows anywhere beyond where it is right now, it starts to get split ends. So he wandered in off the street. He's a friend of mine from way back in the day. Okay, so I need to desolder about 7 million contacts. So we'll go into this view, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into the properties. Because this is a Logitech camera, it needs to be fiddled with. So I need to go to 30 FPS, click OK, go to the properties, configure the video, turn off the auto white balance, which was on, turn that to 4300, which is about the right brightness, turn the gain down, and you can see here that none of this stuff is actually adjusting. Autofocus, because we don't even have a focus motor on that thing. The exposure, that's changing. So we'll leave it there, and then I'm going to click OK on this. Click Apply, click OK. Oh, low light compensation. I'll turn that off in a minute. Click OK on the FPS is 30. Now, when I change the FPS to 60, oops, wait, no, wrong window. FPS to highest FPS, suddenly, well, no, nothing happened this time. Usually those settings don't stick because that's a bug in the camera. At least my gain is now partially capable of being adjusted by me instead of just running out of control. All right, so now everything should look a little bit nicer. We got a little bit less crazy vibration and stuff going on here. We got more light coming into the camera. Fewer streaks. All right, there we go. Yeah, those are nice, lush views of what's going on. All right, so all the LEDs are gone. All the LEDs are gone. We got the controller here. We got its little clock. This is the part that really concerns me, is because those clocks have a little opening on them. So if this thing sits in liquid, I don't know. But anyway, I mean, all the electronics and stuff look fine. What we need to do is start to remove the keys because they're all on this metal backing. So what I'm going to do is get at the two key contacts, and I suppose the best thing for me to do is to use the solder sucker. May have to add solder, may have to remove solder. I'm hoping this thing will do the job, though. This is the Engineer SSO2 solder sucker. The text on it is gone because I've used it so much. It used the Star Trek Next Generation font, which was kind of weird. I may have to freshen up this solder. Yeah, looks like I'm probably gonna have to do that. All right, let's freshen up the solder on the contacts and then we'll suck it away. It's gonna be absolutely vile in there. I can just predict this, that it's gonna be completely disgusting inside of this. Yeah, see that? We're freshening it up. The thing was built probably to RoHS, so it has lead-free solder on these contacts. Now, see, there's still a little bit left there. That's not good. That's not going to let me pull it away. Yeah, see, I need that. I need the pin to be sitting in nothing. If you'll notice that I've ignored all of the filth and hairs that I've been uncovering from this, because we will get at that later when I can separate everything out. They're not necessary though. It's not worth the expense. Where'd the tube go? Oh, it's over here. What the hell? The solder suckers that have their own heat source, I mean, it's all right. I guess you could work pretty quickly with them. It's not necessary. I've never needed that stuff. It's just like the question that I had in the Discord the other day, which is whether or not to get one of those, what are they? The tweezer soldering irons, so that you can remove surface mount stuff easily. I don't find those to be very useful. They mostly just collect dust. So, I mean, maybe, you know, one of those auto solder suckers, if I could use that, this whole process would be a lot faster. But in the long run, I don't think I'd really get any value out of it. Maybe just because I stream, it would be a worthy tool. It would be a Worthington. Oh, smelling burning hair. That hair on the soldering iron is so annoying. Oh my God. Oh Jesus Christ. I'm gonna flip the fuck out if that thing doesn't go away. All right, I think I got it. So there's still solder in there, and it's still actually making contact with the pin, which I can't accept. I could try doing this, adding a little bit of solder to it. Oh boy, this is where it starts. I got 100 more of these things to do. Yeah, rocking the pin a little bit. Oop, that was too much. Where did the pin go? Oh, Jesus. All right. Just like that. I think that released it. Now, presumably, this thing won't come up unless I unclip it, right? Can I pry it out? That's my next question. These are just clay working tools, by the way, here. I don't think that would be a good idea, though. Just using compressed air to blow the solder to the other side. I don't think that would be a good idea because it's got to go somewhere. You know? Got to go somewhere. So, are these capable of being removed individually? Yes, there we go. Oh, yes. Oh, yes, that is disgusting. That is very disgusting. That's not in good shape. Let's take a look at the key itself. I have to make a pile of keys, huh? Oh boy. This is not good. Ew. 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 How did it get up there? Oh no. Oh, it's worse than I thought. It's no wonder these things are struggling. Oh, Jesus Christmas. Throw it away, start over. It's leaking the cherry juice. Oh. C1NN, $1 each. I would need 104. What's the breakdown? 70 cents each at 100. I don't know. I don't know if it's worth another $70 for me to get brand new ones. Yeah, we're gonna pop them open. I'm gonna pop them open and clean out all of the insides because there's clearly shit in them. I don't know if that means, I don't know if the keyboard controller is busted or not either. That's the other part of it. I don't know if the keyboard controller works. I think it does. I don't know. Yes. Let's get 5,000 for $2,700. And then I'll have enough so that the next time I spill, I can replace them all again. Paul Planless, thank you for following. I think I am going to hit them with a little dielectric grease, but they definitely need to be washed. That sucks. I got the isopropyl alcohol coming in the mail, so I suppose it's going to be getting a full refurbish, huh? For 5,000, you can sell them on eBay for 90 cents each. God. It's too bad I didn't have any upgrades planned. Oh no, I got some sticky shit on the Engineer SSO2. Oh man. Oh, that tasted like flux. Oh. Oh God. Get your hands covered in flux and then decide to wipe something by licking your finger and then wiping it. Not a good idea. That was a cavalcade of flavor that I just got. Whew. All right. Well, let's pop this one open and see what's inside. Not looking forward to that, but I'm going to have to pop them all open. What is the procedure here? Hard to get this on camera. Let me move the my additional light closer. There we go. Now we can actually see what's going on. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. I'm glad you guys are getting this at 1080p, practically 4K. Diode. Holy shit. Holy shit. I tried your toothpaste and it made me feel like a piece of shit. Yeah, let's look up the design of these things. I think we gotta, like, get in there, I think, to pop it open. Oh, no, it's these, right? Are those holding clips down? Oh, God, I was eating. That's what you get. That's what you get. I have no guarantees. M1XA data sheet. We don't really need that. I like my Cherry MX clears. They've got a nice little tap over to where they're making contact. They're light enough. I never thought, you know, I originally started with like clicky ones, but what type of contact? I don't know. There's some cool animations that people made for, there was a GIF of all the different switches. And here's the internals of the clear. So the clear just has a little spring bump over with a ramp. And so that's what makes contact right there. I have a feeling all that is just covered in shit. And I'll probably have to like wipe it off. I'm gonna have to take apart a lot of these. But yeah, that's essentially the working mechanisms of the MX Clear. That's more of the physical drawing. Here's one somebody took apart. How to take apart Cherry MX switch. There's probably a tool for this that I don't have. This guy looks smarmy. Ah, it starts muted. That's convenient. All right, so what are we looking at here? I gotta press in the tabs, press in and lift. Please show me. Ah, you got a little tool for it, huh? Look at your little tool. Well, I do have that set of, what are they? The keychain ring full of things to pop open connectors. I think Schmide made me get this. And it might actually be useful here. We might have something that'll work. Does anybody still make the buckling spring keys? I don't think they do. I've got a Model M, and it's actually up on the wall. I put it up on my wall. I used to use a Model M back in the 2000s. I love that thing. I should not be, picking hoagie out of my mouth because, oh God, my hands are covered in gross. I think what it is the alcohol that I sprayed on this thing, the rubbing alcohol. Oh man, oh, that was a really bad idea. Wow, woo, I'm gonna get throat cancer. Oh man, I had a piece of hoagie that I picked out of my tooth, but my whole hand is covered in the disgusting whatever that's got this really awful strong flavor to it. Oh, that was really dumb. God, I'm gonna die. Hold on, I gotta give 20 carbohydrates for the hoagie roll. There is a company that makes a modern Model M. That's cool. Unicomp. I don't know what type of contact on the key. We're gonna find out. Which one of you is gonna open up the Cherry MX switch with the most ease? Possibly none of them. It might not be wide. I might not have one that's wide enough in this kit. It would be like something like this. I guess I could just get at it with a screwdriver if I need to. Well, that's comical, but not the right thing. Alright, so I guess I'm just going to pry at it with a pry at it kind of thing. Screwdriver would probably do. He's a little one. And these go up and out. Okay. So I just rotate the screwdriver barely. It'll start to unseat it. But I don't want to go too far. I don't want to break the plastic. How are these things held together? Barely is probably the key word there. Yeah, these things are barely held together. My God. Oh man, you guys have got to be on me about not touching my face, because my hands are like loaded up with bullshit. Is there more to it than that? No. There's not more to it than that. Seems like I could probably like whip up a little rig to hold these things so that I could just drop it in and it would pop the top off. Oh, this I think is a... No, that's for holding it to other stuff. It's just one of these didn't unlink. It really is that easy. Just trying to get this without harming anything. It's like part of it'll move and then the other part won't. This isn't very quick. Considering the number of times that I'm going to have to do this. All right, what else do I need to know? It's not... You can 3D print a switch opener? I don't know if I need it. This is a different type of switch. We are looking at the cherries, and he's literally just push on the ends. Okay. You don't really need a... Oh, I see. There's a tab that goes up there, too. That's what we're fighting currently. Okay. All right. So that shouldn't be too bad. I wonder how an optical switch would have held up to this spill. I don't know. You don't need to get too complicated. You just need to not spill shit on your keyboard. I was thinking that earlier in the night, too. I was like, man, it would be bad if I spilled something on my keyboard. And then I did. I see. Okay, so a little prying and a little bit of pushing. And then let's go over to the not that camera. That was the wrong camera. Let's go over here. Nothing really infiltrated it. How do contacts look? Hard to see, they're kind of obscured. Yeah, it's really like on the outside. I have a feeling some of the keys are going to be a little bit more rough. Yeah, that's the contact right there. It doesn't look too bad. Looks like it probably still functions, which is not my experience with it. That's looking a little rough. And then the post is looking a little rough too, huh? Yeah, there's some gunk in it. Mainly on the outside and on the initial edges, which is causing them to feel a little weird. Excuse me. So that's going to get washed. Yeah, I'm going to have to put the plastic stuff in like a bath. Possibly also the base is going to need to be washed too. So I guess I'm going to have a couple bins of parts here that I'm going to need to keep straight. Well, here we go, chat. And these are the MX Clear springs. These would make good little RC car springs, huh? All right, put those over there. Alrighty. I mean, that was just a sample of one key, and that one key was off. Actually, that was the arrow key. No, that was the one of the top keys, which was probably in the firing line, but not too bad because it was all the way up here. So I have a feeling these were the epicenter of where the spill was. Those are going to be in bad shape. But it looks like I can go individually with these and remove them one at a time. They just need a little bit of prying, so desoldering it first is the way to go. Yeah, that's basically what I'm going to be doing. Giving it a... Once that... I ordered a couple bins of isopropyl, and so I'm just going to let stuff sit in an alcohol bath for like a day. It'll be fine for the plastics, but every now and then I just need to like shake them around a little bit. Let's add a little bit of solder to that solder. Make it more alloyed. That's pretty good. I gotta kind of move that out of the way so that there isn't a hair of solder. Yeah, see that? There's still solder in there. Those will go back together well. I don't think I'll need extra keys. God, it would be annoying if I did. That's still stuck. Damn it. I just like push it to the side so that it breaks contact. Might still be minor contact in there. I could probably wiggle it with a pin tool, but let's get the other one desoldered. Just 2 legs for each of these, so that's nice and easy. But yeah, and then I gotta figure out what part do I grease? What part do I grease with the dielectric grease? I got a ton of dielectric grease that I can use on this thing. Do I do like the switch contacts or something else? I just slather everything up in there, just grease it all up. Let God sort them out. When a friend of mine did his mechanical keyboard, he had grease specifically from the keyboard place, and they made all these claims about what it did. No, it would save the switch contacts a little bit, wouldn't it? Dielectric grease? Unless I'm just using it to lubricate the plastics. All right, that should come out. Somewhere between desert and teaching it to swim. Sounds about right. That sounds about right. Where's my pen tool? I think I put it away. Did I put it away? Where's the one that I wanted? It's not over here. I'm behind stuff with the tweezers. Did I put it back in the pencil bin? I need it. Paul Galley, thank you for following. Where? What did I do with my pin tool? What have I done? Oh, here it is. Okay. It's just this one has a nice wide contact that I can kind of get in here with. I think it's this that I need to release. Yeah, it's these on the ends that are holding it in. I also need to unseat it from where it's soldered. Also, I need to remove the right one. Damn it. I didn't even desolder that other one. There are little tabs on either end here that are what are holding it in. All I need to do is hit those, and this should come up. Yep, another one to process. All right, this is why I wanted to. It would be so much easier if this stuff just fell out, but because then I could just heat the contacts and the whole thing would drop out. But it's like these are locking the. What do you call it? They're locking the switch. The metal board is locked in by these things. I don't like this design. It's bad. I guess it's what you get on these keyboards, right? That's just how they're built. SSO1 or O2 or whatever it is. Those look okay, but I have a feeling looks are deceiving. I could probably do it like this. Just, but the contacts are down there, so I don't know if this will work. If I pry it and heat it at the same time? Nah, it doesn't really do it. That doesn't really do it. I guess I just got to fiddle with it and make sure that they're opened up. Make sure that there's no little tiny pieces of solder holding this thing in. Ah, shit, I just folded the whole thing. That was dumb. I'll have to, I need more control in there. Maybe tweezers. Now, the iron tip is the only tool that I got that really does this, though. Yeah, see, there we go. Straighten that one back out. You only get so many bends with these pins, then they kind of break. I don't know if I'm getting heat in there either. No, soldering tweezers are never useful. They're never useful. Never. They seem to exist just to have, like, fledgling electronics people want them. Because, like, every shop that I've worked at has had the resources to buy these overly expensive soldering tweezers, and every shop that I've seen has them sitting to the side unused. It's just how it is. They're not useful, folks. Soldering tweezers are not useful. Say it once, I'll say it again. I'll shout it to the fucking rooftops in order to get people to actually listen to me. They're not a useful tool. You're going to spend $300 on them. Well, just sit. Unless you're doing that much rework, in which case you should probably have moved to hot air. I don't really need the microscope for this, so I'm not going to use it. But I do need a little tiny bit of extra solder just to get things started on these. This is a pain in the ass. This is something that you would listen to a podcast while doing, and may end up not broadcasting the entire saga of me dissecting this keyboard. But, you know, I'll take this out to regular stream length and we'll see where we get to with this. But I'm probably going to be doing this late into the night. Yeah, you're not really going to be putting stuff back with those. So you need, by default, the tweezers are they're a one-trick pony, man. Oh, some kind of weird pony man. No, they're a one-trick pony. You know, they do one job. You happen to see the Ben Eater video on N key rollover? I might have. I remember something, but not much. Is that an older video? Like a fairly old video? I haven't watched anything Ben Eater in a while. What precisely is N key rollover? Look at all the solder that's holding in those switches. It's really not necessary. It was a couple weeks ago. I don't think I saw it then. Let's get back to the focal point here. Here we go. I'm going to do like this whole row of F keys. F's in the chat for these keys. F keys. Bum, bum, ba-dum, bum, bum, ba-dum, bum, 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 ba-dum, bum. You ever see the video on why solder smoke always goes directly towards you? I thought that was a really cool one. I'm currently suffering that. Yeah, F1 to 12 in chat. Lets you have a bigger data packet over USB, so you can press a ton of keys at once instead of 6. Yeah. Isn't that, like, aren't specific keyboards advertising the number of keys you can press at once? I don't find myself pressing that many keys, but when it is limited and you're trying to do something like crouch and sneak or something in a game, sometimes you run into the problem where you've run out of keys that you can hit on the keyboard. Or if you're like piloting something in a game and it's a keyboard pilot type scenario. But then again, I'm running a tenkeyless, so I don't have all those keys. I don't have all them extra keys. I have more mouse space as a result, though. All right, now to check these for little bits of contact. Yeah, that's a stupid thing. All right, hold on. These aren't all precisely in the center, which makes it harder to remove the solder properly. Can't really see what I'm doing. I might have to put it on the microscope in order to properly do that. No, I think I did it. Okay, let's see here. The smoke always goes towards the sexiest person. Oh, I see somebody standing around a campfire. It's a good rule. It's generally correct. This is a fair bit more clunky than I had anticipated. See, these look totally clean. It's the ones that are right near where the spill happened that I'm most concerned with. But if I'm doing it to one, I guess I'll do it to all of them. Used to annoy me on membrane, but the problem was gone once I switched to mechanical. I guess I'm not pressing more than 6 at a time. Yeah. What is it you spilled? There's the question, finally. There's finally the question. It was Slogan and seltzer. So, sticky alcoholic berry juice. I ran out of mixers, so I used, yeah, dubious liquids is the best way to... Yeah, it sucked. I didn't do my typical post-spill protocol that I've developed over the years of panicking, throwing as much alcohol as rubbing alcohol as I can at it, and then leaving it upside down to dry off. I didn't do that. But there are so many historical spills. This is like the Exxon Valdez of keyboards. I need to get under this thing. I need to get under the metal plate. I need to know what kind of horrors there are. There are already horrors right here, but I spilled espresso on the keyboard once. I feel your pain. Yeah. It's always the worst ones, right? If this were Diet Coke, I would at least know that there isn't sugary bullshit all over my keyboard. But it is not Diet Coke, sadly. It is very much not Diet Coke. That one's not properly. You live by the sword, you die by the sword. How's everybody doing? Are we all waiting for more exciting streamers to come online? Thursday? Thursday's a pretty active stream day, right? Everybody's pretty active on Thursday. I chose my stream days so I didn't conflict with previously recorded live. I didn't even get my streaming chops until they stopped. Coke is a PCB etchant. I'm procrastinating working on this photogrammetry setup I have been selectively working on. We tried photogrammetry here and it didn't work out all that well. Too much data storage. I hope you're having better luck with it than we did. Remember as a kid, a friend spilling orange juice all around my keyboard at my B-Day? So the trauma made me never spill again. Yeah. Yeah. I should have a no food at my desk policy, but I can't live like that. I can't live that life, chat. I just can't. This is tedium. This work is tedious. I've had decent luck in general, but I saw some new technique that I'm interested in trying. Yeah, if I could deal with the massive amount of data storage that I would need to do some photogrammetry, I would like to reverse engineer that curve that the Mercedes steering wheel has for their airbag, so that I can make my own airbag cover. What I've got right now is a couple pieces of foam crammed in there, and then a BMW airbag plate because it's funny. Because it's not the same manufacturer, right? That's why it's funny. What if a vacuum pump would work better with a vacuum chamber of some sort and an electronic controlled pneumatic valve to allow suction? They're handheld. There are handheld desoldering rigs that just have all that. Yeah, that already exists. You just buy them. It's like a $300 thing, though. So I'm not going to go out and buy an uber professional solder sucker. I hear they're pretty good. And as a big popular streamer boy, I guess I should probably give them a chance at some point. If a viewer felt compelled to send one in, because sending stuff to me is akin to throwing it in a dumpster, if a viewer cared enough to send one in, I would definitely give it the old college try. But they're expensive, so. If you own a backup keyboard, what's this? This is the backup keyboard. It doesn't work like that. I've always had the backup keyboard, and I still spilled. He's a DSLR asking, mirrorless, what, huh? I stuck with the raid stream you dropped us into yesterday and watched him explain how he was a werewolf to a scammer. Yeah, man. Dude, Kit Boga's great. I've watched him for quite some time, off and on. I haven't been watching him a lot lately, but he fell in love with Tom Thinks and rated Tom Thinks constantly, which is really cool, because Tom is good with like a couple hundred people watching. When he gets up to those numbers, those like 6,000 to 8,000 people watching, it becomes hectic. And it's really cool that Kit Boga rated him a couple times, because that sort of helped Tom temper large viewerships. And Tom Thinks was on the front page of Twitch the other day. He said he peaked at like 15,000 people. It was like 14-something thousand people. That's nuts. That was so cool. Super happy. It's so awesome that people are learning about what he's doing, because he does some cool stuff. But yeah, so I figured it'd be time for a Boga raid, and it's cool that people who are unfamiliar with him actually figured out who Boga was. Because Kit Boga, basically, he doesn't prank call scammers, but he pranks scammers. So he will get into their scams and waste their time. You know, some of these are pretty devious fucking things. You know, they ask people to get like gift cards, Apple gift cards and stuff like that, and they prey on old people who don't really know about this stuff. Pretty crazy. Mirrorless managed to get to DSLR sensor sizes, so more and more will move to that tech. What board is this? It's a Code V3 10-keyless mechanical keyboard. It is my keyboard, and I have ruined it. I've spilled awful liquids on it. Awful sticky liquids that I shouldn't have around my keyboards. I don't know if that's gonna move. It looks like there's still some contact here. There, that's fizzy lifting drinks. Fuck! That was... Oh, okay, that was just a slip. Alright, I thought I bent the pin over. They do tend to bend over if you're not careful. Wait, I shouldn't say that. Oh, excuse me, I should have muted. That burp came on too quickly for me to mute. Made an Arduino to control the remote shutter on my Panasonic. Got a stepper motor to control a Lazy Susan, hoping to automate long exposures. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, when you can control stuff like that, then the software gets to kind of excel. Yeah. You didn't hear that. You didn't hear the burp. I usually merp. I'm merp for burps. I'm mute for burps. I'm debating whether or not I want to put conformal coding on this thing, because enough is enough. But I think the main problem with the keyboard right now is that stuff got into the switches. I think. It's never that simple, but it feels that simple this time. I don't know. The weird behavior that I get from the keyboard is concerning to me. It feels like maybe the controller is dead. Which, come on, it was just a little bit of liquid. Why would it mute for burp? Mute for burp. Your burp. Burp, murp. Murp for burp. But also, it's going to be good to be able to get behind this metal plate and clean. Clean, clean, clean. I'm not Louis Rossman, though. I can't dump this circuit board into a bath of chemicals and clean it out. But I will be able to get alcohol on it. Not drinking alcohol, you know. About ready to eat the damn 3-axis joystick in the trash. I can't figure out how the hell they want me to wire it. 3-axis joystick? For what? Polarized filter for light in my lens, so the entire background can be blacked out. Ooh, that's cool. Oh, 3-axis controller for the CNC. There aren't explicit instructions? Thought they would be clear about that. I guess you're using a lot of custom stuff, so it's not as forthcoming with the information as one would hope. $195 proof ethanol works as well as 90% isopropyl. Well, I mean, I'm not going to go buy a bunch of Everclear and pour it on the keyboard, man. Maybe the keyboard man would enjoy that, but the keyboard would not enjoy that, comma, man. What working at the Everclear factory is like. Probably the same as an oil refinery. There are 10K pots on them, and individually they work just fine. When I wire the power and grounds together, it fails. They're individually wired together. Huh. Not like, huh? I don't know. I'd have to see a circuit to visualize that better. Not that you're not good at describing it. It's just I'm worse with written words than I am with pictures of stuff. Just gonna go down the line here and just remove all the solder. And pry all of these out. Hopefully. This is row by row. That's how we're gonna do this. Row by row, key by key. This is a major refurbishment on this board. It's unfortunate that I got to do this. My hands are tied. Doesn't look like they're taking heat as well. Maybe they are. What does that look like? Whoa, what a disaster. No, it's terrible. Didn't work at all. More solder over here. Let's add a bunch of solder to this one. Father only reads books if they have pictures. All right. Say whatever you have to do. Whatever you guys have to say to make yourselves feel good. Just let that heat get in there. Let that solder get in there. Hopefully it'll wash out all the old stuff. So yeah, all the 10K pots have the same power and ground wire to them. And when you move it all the way, they should stay in the middle of the pot. So that will just be a simple voltage divider. 50-50 voltage divider, theoretically. And then they work individually, but when you run them all, what happens? They just don't work. It just fails. 5-volt ground sense. 3 wires on each pot. 2 pots, 5 volts, and a 5-volt and ground. Ground and individual sense. Doesn't give me correct readings. Are you... You're not bringing them to the extremes, because bringing them to the extremes might mean that you're connecting... No, that would just... You would still be going... The other side would still be going through a 10K pot. Sure the pinout's the right pinout? I mean, it's as simple as it gets, right? There's not too much... All you're doing is creating an analog voltage level on the output. Simple, simple, simple. Sounds frustrating. Wire the 2 pots, 5-volt to 5-volt, ground to ground, individual sense. It doesn't give the correct readings. Get about 4K in the middle, 0 to one side, about 4.2 on the other side. Oh, should be 10K and then 4K. Yeah. Huh, is it broken? Is it broken? Jesus, the solder didn't come out properly, and now this little piece of silicone tube is all distorted. Get out of there, solder. You're not supposed to be in there. There you go. Big chunk of solder. The little tube on the Engineer SSO1, totally replaceable, but this is the best part about this solder suckers, that this is able to press up against solder temperature stuff and create a little seal. That's what allows me to suck the solder out so effectively. On other versions of these solder suckers, it's all plastic, and the plastic just melts, and it's disgusting. So I never like solder suckers, but this one has won me over. Because it's super good at what it does. They disconnect all the wires, it works fine. What? Getting like a bad wire connector? You're putting a multimeter to it and you're reading ohms. And the ohms you're reading are not the right ohms. Am I correct? Is that still like soldered in? Oh yeah. Damn it! I hate how you have to come back and like massage these in order to get them to properly let go. Why do I even bother? Why do I even bother when they're gonna do stuff like this? You gotta let go of the past here, buttons. God, my whole day is gonna be dedicated to this, isn't it? Repairing my keyboard. It might be time is money, right? I guess I don't make that much money to say that, because time is money. Perhaps just buying a bunch of new keys or a whole new keyboard would be frugal in this sense. Of course, then I'll just spill shit on it. So this is more of a, this is like a lesson to me. Let this be a lesson to you, oh bother. You spill shit on your keyboard and you got to do this. You got to take it apart. Still think one of those is making too much contact. Yeah, it looks like it's that one. if I could pry on this at the same time as trying to solder and pry at the same time, then I'd probably make a little headway. Ooh, I don't want to tap the keys with the soldering iron. That would be really bad. There you go. I wonder. Nah, you gotta release the little tabs before it moves. Maybe I shouldn't do this with a hot soldering iron in my hand. That one's still holding on, too. Fuck. Just folded it over. That one really likes folding. Yeah, there's like a little bit of solder where I held the soldering iron to this, where the solder sucker didn't quite get there. That one might be released, I'm not sure. Imagine doing this as a hobby. If I was doing this more often, I'd probably have the heating and sucking tool, one of those auto desolderers. Because then I could just wiggle the pin contact in that. Here's a super special way to do it. Oh, come on. Damn it. Fine. Have it your way. I'll do the other one just in case. Such waste. What a waste of solder. Yeah, I need a way to like pull these things out of their sockets while soldering it on the other side. That would be the fastest. And I guess a pincher, something that pinches the key that I can pull on. And I could probably 3D print something like that. Yeah, with the keyboard clearance to use a hot plate and heat all the pins at once. Nah, there's all kinds of stuff on the other side that I wouldn't want to unseat. I tried to use hot air. Maybe that would work. I need like I need a pair of tweezers with the ends bent. Yeah, that's exactly it. So that I can get in and hit both of those tabs and also pull back on it. I do not have an IC puller. Of all the people to have an IC puller, I don't have one. I don't know where, the ones that I've had, I don't know what happened to them. I think they were pretty cheap, and I don't think they'd handle something as tall as the MX Switch. So like an old pair of tweezers that I don't have, I could possibly modify to be a key puller. This is almost enough work that it would justify that. Almost. But it's not like I don't have a technique now. It's just going a little bit faster as I learn how to do it. I remember making my own IC puller with blank plates that cover the PCI slots to pull an old BIOS IC to reflash it. My method is to get a tool in there and barely pry it up, get the other side, barely pry it up, and just keep going back and forth until it pops out. That's the method that I've developed over the years, but it's a good thing nobody uses that technology anymore, because I would hate to have to still be doing that. I have a bunch of 7400 series Logic chips lying around. I'll have to do something with those one day. Make them into a keyboard controller or something. F keys, done. I've only got all these to go. Man. So they used for years in the keyboard hobby for pulling switches before they made specific tools. Huh. I don't know. Let's see what we got. Let's see if I have anything resembling an IC puller. I have something for scraping up traces, solder wick, chip quick flux, some dikes, chip quick, more chip quick, brush. This utterly ridiculous torch that my brother gave me for some type of gift. It's a lighter. Oh, it ran out of batteries. It's rechargeable, but it makes a little spark between those contacts. Oh, why do I have that? I never really need a lighter. Is that just an X-Acto blade? Yeah, I hate those. I hate X-Acto blades. Scalpels are so much better. That's a scribe. And a little bit of hot glue. And some nail clippers. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. A pair of nail scissors, scope stuff, probe stuff, tweezers. Sorry, wrench type things. Nope. No IC pullers there. Have to go to the other bin to get stuff like that. Let's check over at the other bin. Over at the other bins over here, there's maybe a small chance that I've got something like that. Oh, that battery inflated. Oh, that's nice. OctoJ's tablet battery is it's getting a little inflated. This type's of lighter my nephew learned quick not to just push buttons in his pockets and expect nothing to happen. It zapped him. Oh God. Sounds like an awful time. All right, let's see. 18650 batteries. Let's put my tape up there. Get this stuff out of the way. I gotta make room over here because I can get to the bottom drawer of my chest of drawers. This is a terrible place for the chest of drawers, by the way. It's way out of the way. We've just kind of learned to live with it. I've got limited space in this shop. It would be nice if I could expand out a little bit more. But that's not going to happen until I move. So I'm just stuck. You guys are not allowed to see that number. They immediately went to missed call. So they were probably a fucking solicitor call or whatever. Need some forceps? I've got plenty of forceps. I'm looking for a chip puller because you guys keep insisting on it. That's a lot of different types of pliers that I've got. I got a lot of weird ones. These aren't chip pullers, but they're close. These are like weird flush cutters. I don't think those will do it. Oh, they're so close to being able to do it. They can't quite get around. Yeah, they can't quite get around the whole thing. They're so close to being able to do it. That's too bad. Yeah, they're flush cutters. They're not chip pullers, so they'll damage the switch. That was a close one. Not quite there. Snap ring pliers, no. A radiator comb. Anybody need a radiator comb? When you need one, you'll be thankful to have it. Plenty of other weird shit in this drawer. That's not useful in this case. All right, let's go to another drawer. Nope, no chip pullers in any of these. These are the ones where they might be. So this is like spillover equipment. What do we got in here? Everybody has these. This is I think like a heat sink clamp. Use it to clamp on the electronics that you're soldering. Never use them. They're not good for a lot of stuff. Radio puller. I don't think I've ever used that. I don't think I've ever used that. This is a key puller, but not a switch puller. I don't think that's That's not going to release the little clip on these. It sure gets close, though, doesn't it? It doesn't quite do it, though. Let's see. That's a plier. There's a bunch of tweezers. Yeah, it doesn't look like I have the right stuff. Let's try the other drawer of miscellaneous stuff. Only thing I use those for is to short the power pins on motherboards. That's a good use for them. Yeah, this is more like what I'd use to pull a chip. This thing right here. Just a little, like, sideways prying tool. It's not useful for us here. This is my emergency soldering iron as well. Oh, I forgot I had these little Torx wrenches. I don't really use a lot of Torx, though. I got the WASD key puller, as if that's useful. I could 3D print one. Wouldn't it get too hot? Just trying to make this job a little bit easier, you know? I may just have to put in the work. I might pull a rage quit on you guys and shuffle you over to another channel while I sit here and fucking just solder all day. Use my whole day to solder. It would be more exciting if we worked on RC car stuff. But I need to get this done because I need a fucking keyboard. Because I'm mad. I'm angry. I need keyboard. These I've never had a use for, and I should probably hang them from the 3D printer, because I think the only good use for these are flush cutters, but they have a different mechanism to them, and I think it's for like factory work. It's even got like a little loop on the back where you can have them like hanging from something. You can set them very precisely, but they're kind of cool. We can just keep you company while you desolder. Yeah, I just don't want, like, man, you know, like, what if somebody that I'm like trying to get the attention of, you know, like all those big streamers, and they're like, whoa, what? Oh, I finally got a little bit of time. Let's check out what this Oh Bother guy does, because he's like been in my chat and he's like a fucking pest and I hate him. So let me check out his channel. And I'm sitting here just like, time to solder the 104th key, like. Of this 10-keyless keyboard. And it's just boring. Solder all day. You know, it's a way of life. But I don't have an IC puller. IC wiener. I don't have an IC wiener. Unk Level and Eichvez are two Scandinavian screen names that have been in my channel. You guys have a weird way of combining letters. It's worth a shot. You know, you'd think I'd have something like that, but mostly that kind of tool is just jettisoned immediately because I just don't have any use for IC pullers around here. That's right, your Uncle Phil. You know, it's hard for me to remember. I'll always just read the name as it comes to me at first. Sir, that's a V. Sir, this is a Wendy's. All right, let's get to desoldering. I got no choice. Yeah, I mean, it's like there's some names, and I'm happy for you guys to correct me as much as possible, because I'm you know. I'm just a North American fucking artistic person. All right. Just a North American idiot. And I'm always going to be that. And I'm always just going to pronounce things the way that my dialect dictates. So if you guys keep correcting me, sometimes I'll get it right. Not sure if Unklevel's Scandinavian. It may be Danish, because nobody can understand Danish. I didn't say it. You did. See, what we're trying to do is unveil the eldritch horror that awaits beyond the white metal plate of this keyboard. This keyboard has survived quite a bit. This is the second Code keyboard V3 10-keyless that I have owned. The first one succumbed to its injuries in spite of conformal coating. It eventually gave up. It eventually just gave up. It had enough of my bullshit, and it just stopped. So now I am charged with the task of making sure that this keyboard has a snowball's chance in hell of actually being recovered. It's acting up. It's acting weird. It's acting like the end is nigh. I really don't want to spend the money on a new one. These aren't cheap keyboards. They're good. I like the feel of this keyboard. I like the cherry clears. I like the design of it. It's very simple. I actually like that it has monochrome LED lighting instead of RGB. My backup keyboard, the one that I use for stream, the one that's worked for like 12 years, that one has mandatory RGB lighting. Mandatory. There's no way to turn it off. You can slow it down to a crawl, but it'll still do animated RGB. I mean, I guess you can turn it off, but then I won't be able to see the keys. My face in the way? Oh yeah, I'm a little bit in the way. Sorry. Denmark is the one Scandinavian country nobody understands. Part of it, nobody understands why or how they did it. That I do know. I've sure spent enough time in Rabad's chat. The tomato chat immediately outed me as being a Rabaz person. They were talking about foods and like tofu that tastes like meat, and I mentioned Hufu, and they were like, "Oh, you're one of those Rabaz guys, aren't you?" Like, what? So I want to try something that's flavored like it's human meat. Does that make me so weird? Come on. Yeah, if I could pry these from the other side while heating them up, this would go as fast as the LEDs, but I've got all these operations that I have to do on them. I like the mechanical membrane keyboard of Razer. I don't know about those. What? All right. We went down that entire row. I think I got all of them with new solder. It's hard to tell because the solder isn't becoming shiny. It's mostly the lead-free stuff, which honestly I don't have that much to complain about with the lead-free solders. They've come along, and I think everybody's kind of stuck in the past with them. Wish I could just pop this thing into the toaster and pluck all the keys out. Just shake it all off. Redo the whole circuit board. Too bad I can't just get another one of the controllers. I think that's a microcontroller. I don't think that's a bespoke keyboard device. I mean, I could just learn how to spin up one of those microcontrollers and program my own keyboard stuff to sort of use the same layout that they do. That'd be the ultimate refurbishing. I could take it down back to ones and zeros. Oh, just shitposting my hatred for RGB. Ah, that makes sense. Yeah. Yeah, I don't need to wear sunglasses to use my fucking keyboard. RGB is only like, okay, so RGB, that aesthetic, I'm glad that we're moving on from it. It's more of the reason that all the manufacturers show the RGB is just to show that you're capable of changing the colors on the keyboard, right? What I would love of my keyboard is to be able to do the same thing I do with the mouse. I would love it if, as I'm typing, the key that I just hit would fade from one color to another. I could probably do it on a more advanced keyboard, but I'm not willing to. I don't really want to. I don't want to get one of those weird ass fucking weirdo super gamer keyboards. I don't want to do that. But it would be fun to have that kind of control over this thing. I was thinking about if I could make a little circuit board that would sit on the top of the key. Yeah, the Razer Chroma can do that. I just don't like the shapes of those keyboards. I want the simplicity of the Code keyboard. Code keyboard is just an old school keyboard. It's just got new stuff in it. The way I can turn the stupid lights off on my RTX card is a third-party software or physically disconnecting it. Oh my god. That sounds awful. That sounds terrible. Yeah, I don't know what my friend's going to do about his computer. Oh, I have an update on that. The guy said he put it on, they put it on the bench and they tested a bunch of stuff with it. Both the motherboard and the RAM are dead or something. And this is all brand new stuff. But apparently the motherboard was kaput. So they, motherboard, sorry, not the RAM. It was the motherboard and the video card. The EVGA 3080 was dead. We didn't do it, but he said that they were going to warranty it, which we removed the cooler from that thing and we threw it in the corner. We put a water block on it. I guess they're gonna honor it. Honor the warranties on both of those components and get them in there and get his computer working finally. Actually, wait, the 3090 wasn't even... That came from another deal. I guess maybe they have the ability to RMA EVGA products or something. Like directly with EVGA. I don't know how that works. Because he got the card through by buying a keyboard and mouse with it. Which is kind of cool. I wonder how much they'll charge for doing that work. I mean, $40 for the diagnostic. But I don't know about the warranty work and stuff. If they can handle it. That's pretty cool if they can do that. There's a whole open source keyboard software for custom mechanical keyboards if you really want to spin up your own. The thing is, I need to match the pinout of this. I would need to match the pinout. I'd want it to be a drop-in replacement. Which is, you know, that's one of the things about being talented at reverse engineering, is that all the shit that you make is to get to where somebody's already patented something. Like, right? Like, I could do all the work, come up with all the software, cater this thing to my own needs, and all that work, can't sell it. I can't get anything out of it. Reverse engineering sucks. That's how you learn how to do stuff originally. If I ever wanted to spin off and design my own keyboard, I am now full of ideas, for better or for worse, that I could implement. Probably mostly for worse. Let's be honest. I never expected this fucking Engineer SSO2 to do as much work as it's been doing. I've been using this thing a lot lately, and it's pretty good, man. I gotta say. I gotta thank Wexo for buying this and sending it to me, because it turned around my opinions on solder suckers. I would have been doing this with desoldering braid, which would have been a nightmare. Like no solder came out of that. There it is. Big plug of solder comes out of the front of this thing. A lot of them are RMAing GPUs, no questions asked, because that new Amazon game is killing them. Oh, that's interesting. It was only the Gigabyte 3090, but so I don't know why. I mean, I guess the computer store can just go to the manufacturer directly and be like, yeah, this ended up in the hands of a customer. We need to RMA it. Because they didn't sell it. You know, some Ninja something computers, or no, Killer Bee, Wasp computer. It was some weird ass seller, I think maybe on, I don't know if it was Amazon or just somewhere else that had like the deal where if you buy a keyboard and mouse from EVGA, they'll also send you the 3080. So it's some weird ass deal. And we were waiting that day for that thing to come in the mail. I can't believe that it's a DOA. But I guess if it's a DOA, anybody can say, hey, here is the card. It was a DOA. They don't have the cooler though. Like the screws are all over the place. I don't know. All right, so of these that I did, there's a lot of them that have that little bit of solder that's sort of like holding them in place. I don't know if I'll be able to pry them up with that little bit of solder there without damaging stuff. Yeah, it looks like they won't budge. So that needs to be fixed. So now I got to go back through and do the same thing all over again, but this time prying the pins around. So I'm going to bring you guys over here. Hey, Code Rush, raiding with a party of 24. How you guys doing? So raids are working today because there was a host that was a big host, and I didn't even catch it because it was a host. You know, Twitch will routinely screw that up, where instead of raiding, it'll just say hosted. And a host of like 200. It's like, what is that? How's it going, Code Rush? What are you guys up to over there? Over here, we're refurbishing mechanical keyboards. I spilled some stuff on this keyboard, and it's pretty disgusting. It's pretty gross. And so what I'm doing right now is removing all of the keys, because it's about time. It's about that time with this thing. I need to remove all these keys so that I can move the metal plate. And once I remove the metal plate, I can actually clean this thing. And I'm going to break apart all the keys, get into them, clean them out, put some grease in them where applicable. We added the D&D spell Wall of Ice into a mod for Tailspire. Oh, that's cool. Stefan IRL often hosts rather than raids because the raid function on mobile is iffy at best. Ah, okay. That makes sense. Okay, so it was because Twitch will just like shit the bed and not raid properly. Yeah, everybody's giving me raids today. Let's say it's like the 90s. But yeah, the disgusting shit that I spilled on this thing is still in sort of the seam for all of the keys. I don't know if that's what's causing the issue or if the controller on this thing just shit the bed. It's probably a little bit of both. Steven IRL, Bounty Hunter. What? That's cool. Oh my God, look at it's like the contact is like burnt. Oh, it's disgusting. There's some gross shit in there. This is, ugh. Hey, what's up, Gonad? Used to watch his bounty hunting streams, good stuff. Hey, that's cool. I didn't know that's who that was. That's really cool that they know about my channel. Good stuff. I'm always surprised. I'm always surprised by who knows who around here. This is shoving my face in just my worst. This is head on meeting your worst habits. There's like cheeseburger parts inside of this keyboard, man. It's disgusting. He was a bounty hunter. Okay, so now he does just IRL. Cool. Yeah, I would think streaming like bounty hunting on Twitch, you're eventually gonna run into something that's like mega super toss. like you've not only violated toss, you've also violated the Geneva Convention or some shit like that, right? You're not exactly seeing people at their best in that job. What he should do is take all of that skill, all that bounty hunting skill, and get into GTA RP. That'd be an interesting one. I can't seem to break that little whisker of solder on this one. Yeah, today's not the most exciting stream in the world. I'm refurbishing a keyboard that's absolutely disgusting. we're kind of on a hangout mode for those of you that are new to this stream. I've got a wall of burnt names called Burn the Subs, where if you subscribe or you gift a subscription, either you or the giftee will go up on my board, and it figures out how to shape the text and all that stuff, and then send it over to this board where it gets physically burnt. So that's sort of the pièce de résistance of this channel. Other than that, we do electronics here, and so in doing so, having my completely fucked up keyboard where I've just like pissed on it, it's one of those projects where I'm not going to be able to sleep at night until I do it. So we're doing it, but I've got basically all kinds of bits and bobs here of doing like building and engineering cool stuff. That's essentially what we do around here. Tomorrow we're going to be taking apart a video recorder, a little rack mount video recorder that the other Lone Star sent in. And I'm interested to get into this thing to see what's wrong with it, or if we can find anything that's sort of like clearly wrong with it and see if we can fix it. He was always really good about muting audio and cutting stream when needed. Yeah, I would. I think I'm gonna have to mute stream so that I can yell at somebody. Zergberg, thank you for the follow. And Alchemist 1206. Yeah, so today, the thing about keyboards is that there's a lot of repetition in them, and so we're doing that. We're doing the repetition. I got to pull this thing apart, pull all the bits and bobs apart, pull apart the switches, bathe this stuff in alcohol, much like I bathe my liver in alcohol and wash away all of its sins. I may actually put it all in a colander and just run it under the sprayer in the kitchen sink, like soap and a sprayer. I think probably would be best for this, to be fair. Like put it all in a colander, dump a bunch of dish soap on it, spray and pray, and then take them out individually. Either I could spritz them with air, or I could just shake them and then just leave them to dry overnight. I think that's going to be the best strategy for this. This sucks. This sucks. I miss having a keyboard that doesn't have fucking slogan in all of its seams. Let's see if that one pries up now. Thing is, there are some streamers that do boring stuff and they get tons of viewers. I need to find people unlike you guys, people who are happy to be bored. Maybe I can find him at YouTube. Do you really need to take it apart for that? Could it be bathed as is? Well, then you're dealing with liquid possibly being left over inside. And by the one switch that we took apart, there was slogan in, see those little red tracks right there? That's not good. That's infiltrating the button. So taking it apart, I can separate it out into these parts. I may want to use just alcohol in this so that the copper doesn't get anything on it, but yeah. That's right. Bathing in alcohol got you into this mess. By God, it's going to get you out of it. That is exactly it. That is exactly it. I drank myself into this problem. I'm going to drink myself out of it. Here we go. I can't tell why this one isn't moving. Wiggling the pins is kind of the method here, but it doesn't get it away from the sides of the via. What we're trying to do, okay, so what happens here is when you desolder something, you are freeing it from the via that it was in. So use the clean end of this thing. This is a via. It goes through the circuit board. It goes through all layers of the circuit board, and it's kind of like a rivet. It bridges contact for all the layers of the circuit board, and it gives a device with a pin a hole for the pin to go through. Easy peasy lemon squeezy, right? Well, when you suck the solder from these pins, sometimes there's surface tension holding a little bit of solder on there. You can kind of see it down there. That actually might not be held in. This one is. You can see right here that this one has just a little hair, like a little tiny dribble of solder holding it in. So the method is to wiggle the pin a little bit. Pins don't really like to move around a lot. You only get a certain number of wiggles with certain types of devices. That might be broken free, so I'm going to give it a shot, but See this stuff here? That's still held in. So I got to come back and refurbish that. And that's because I was holding the soldering iron like this, and that covered that little spot. I mean, I mod for a streamer that just builds custom keyboards. Interesting. Yeah, so it's just this over and over. See, I'm taking this as a teaching moment. You can see that every single one of these pins suffers from this. This is where one of those sort of vacuum, those little pump-driven solder suckers would probably come in handy. Because then you can get that sucker right on the end of this thing and suck from all directions. And that might clean it up a little better. I think maybe what I need to do is pull the iron away a little bit when I suck. This one might come up. I'm gonna try that again. It's just the more I have to fight this, the more time this is gonna take. Yeah, this will come up. This one will come up at least. This is the $75 that I could spend to buy new switches on that whole time is money gig. Starting to make a little bit more sense, right? Yeah, see if I could put the pressure on it and solder at the same time. That would be nice. I need like a big blade tip that hits both at once, and the chip puller. That's just going to need to be redone. God damn it. I mean, if I come up with a chip puller, I guess this would go a lot faster. Because I won't have to do the sucking. I might have done it. Huh. I might have done it. Yeah, if I pull the iron away. Yeah, that did it. Okay, so pull the iron away and get a good seal around the via, and then I might be able to avoid that little bit of extra solder that sticks around. That may be the new, that's the new meta. That may be the new technique here. Because yeah, having to double up all these in order to get those little bits of solder off is not, that's no bueno. It's going to take way too long. Gotta get that little bit of solder out of this or else it's gonna, there we go. All right, that's not enough solder. I'm not heating the pad properly. There we go. Heat it up. Get a full seal. Fuck. I just made a tower of solder because it all cooled off too quickly. That's a work of art. Work of fart. Oh, it just needs to be moved up a little bit so that it's in the center. That might come. That might come out. That would go. Do not come. Right, let's see. Get this thing out of there. That was, we were quoting that all day when we were building the computer. Nope. No, I think it's still stuck in. Yeah, it's not coming. All right. What is still attached? It's this one again. All right, do that one over. That might have did it. We'll see if that did it. Oh boy. I would like, yeah, building keyboards on stream. I mean, we could do some cool stuff, but man, I mean, building it would be more fun than refurbishing it. Let's just be fair about that one. I think this is coming up. Yeah, this is gonna come. Do not come. All right, let's get this one. What are we looking at? That one might come up immediately. Might be stuck. Let's check. Yeah, that one's stuck. They usually tilt forward pretty easily if they're... All right, so which one's the problem on this? That one looks almost free. Yeah, that one looks free, so it's this front one. It's the front one. It's always the front butt. Give that a little bit. New solder. And then the suck. It did not work. Well, it might have worked. Let's see if it worked. I don't know if it did. I don't know if it did. It looks a little suspicious. A little auspicious. That definitely didn't work. How come that thing is in there so much? I guess they're both in pretty bad. This is why I like to. This is why I don't like having to fully release the pins before removing the thing. That's why I like just soldering it and then prying it off, which I might be able to do. If I pry the bottom end first, it might be more trouble than it's worth. I'm not sure. This might be more trouble than it's worth, what I'm doing right now. Let me try prying this one out by just heating up the solder on it. See if I can do it this way. Of course, that also means that I need to clean off all of the pins of these things, but I think what I do is I start under it, and I get at that clip, and get a little bit of a pry going. No, hold on. So it's going to be impossible for me to hold the keyboard in place to do that. Well, I don't know. Chip puller would be a much better thing to use here, huh? That might work. It might also tear the pads off of the top of the board, though. I'm a little concerned about that. And then I got to come back with an iron and clean up all these pins. Yeah, maybe I shouldn't hold it that close to the camera, huh? That might be a little bit of a problem. You guys probably don't want to be seeing that so close. See, the thing is, I'm not cleaning that up because once I pull the keys, I can just wipe it off. Yeah, I've got to pry the underside first, and that's the tough part. Maybe I should make a tool. What tweezers do I have that I don't like? What tweezers do I have that I don't like? I'm gonna make a tool for doing this. Well, I got those ones that we were looking at before, the ones that never get used for anything, ever. These little shits. Can we turn that into a key puller? I think we can. A key puller? With this one weird trick. Do I want it to pinch still? Probably do. Let's believe you use 2 wires to short points when you were typing. What? You're not a god and use buttons like everybody else? Oh, you think I'm... See, what I do is I take the Ethernet cable and I tap the wires together, and that's how I have an online presence. I do everything just by tapping the 2 wires together that come out of the wall. I think maybe what I need to do is bend this inward. Oh my God, this thing is not bending. And then cut the end. Like that. That one might be a little bit too far, but if I can just get my bend on. Yeah, that one might be a little bit too far. Let's just do this. It's not really going to want to cut there. Shit. Yeah, bent it too much. Yeah, I can still do this. Hold on. I need to cut this now, and I don't have anything that I'm willing to sacrifice to make that cut. These might make that cut. The cutters on these things are always a little dodgy. Oh, that actually worked well. Yeah, jeez. Water spill? I wish it was water. It was slow gin and seltzer. How's that? It might work. Haha, they're sharp. They are very sharp. They could see the front end of a file. They could see the front end of a file. This is a judgment stream. I already told everybody that if they wanted to make their crass little fucking quippy comments at my expense, there would be plenty of opportunity to this stream. I'm taking it full force here. I'm admitting to the weird drink that I was drinking and having spilled it directly into the keyboard. So, there we are. Here we are, the breakdown of my ego. All right, so is this gonna let me, well, first of all, it doesn't expand enough for me to do. I need to alter it a little bit more. Okay, that might work. So that'll push in the tab, and it gives me a nice big handle on the back. What hurt a bit physically? What are you talking about? Yeah, I think this will work. It's just I need to add solder to the things now. And then this bottom one needs to get a better grip. So I need to bend the bottom one up a little bit. Like that. That might do. These are the like heatsink tweezers that nobody ever uses. I don't ever use them. So they're much more useful to me like this. These cost like a couple cents. They come with every like fledgling soldering kit. So I don't know why you are cringing at my alteration of this device. So I need to actually add solder to all these so that I have something to actually heat up so I can pry them out. And now this whole job will go a lot faster as a result. Now I've got a key puller that I didn't want. I didn't want it. I didn't want this thing. I'm bringing the lead content of this product up significantly with all this solder. But that's what, I mean, projects like this, that's what they're all about, is coming up with a new technique that's going to let you do operations like this pleasantly without the expenditure of a ton of effort. Pleasant, quick, effortless. This would be a job that I would do while listening to something. That's probably the form that it's going to take on once we get to time here today. I didn't want this to take up an entire stream. We got more interesting stuff to work on, but I did want to get my fucking keyboard back, chat. I'm not going to get my keyboard back. I don't even know if the diagnosis is correct. I thought the shit getting into the keys was the problem. It turns out it's just a symptom. It's just one of many issues that's going on here. Whew, look at the residual heat. OSHA's classified my shop as a hazardous waste zone. Probably should. Hold on. Okay, there. Man, what am I going to do for dinner? I don't think I'm going to order food again. I did last night. I got sushi. That was awesome. It was really expensive though, so I'm not gonna go back to that. I can't go back. Oh, look at how easy that was. Easy peasy lemon squeeze. Look at this shit. This is so much better. Trey Pop, thank you for talking me into this. Was it Trey Pop? I think it was. Look at that. Beautiful. Sushi's always awesome and expensive. I got like some particular kind of like dragon roll that had cooked salmon on it. And I was like, oh man, I should have just gotten sashimi. I will catch a fish and I will bite its fucking side off. I love raw fish. I love it. I will dive into a river and catch a fish and take a bite. I'll old man in the sea that shit. But I tried to get a variety of stuff. The sushi wasn't as good as the place that I normally get it from, though. But like what I got on this roll was like cooked salmon, which is a little weird. It's a little weird when it's cooked, but it was good. It was like a warm sushi roll. It was very strange. Great to get on a fucking hot day. Oh my god, this is so much better than the solder sucker. Holy fucking shit. Holy shit. Are you guys looking at how quickly this is going now? Right tool for the right job, huh? Modify a pair of tweezers, and now I've got my expert Cherry MX remover. It just instantly pulls them out. Because what it's doing is it's engaging both of the tab locks that are holding it into the metal plate. That fish emote. I saw an amazing thing that used that fish emote. It was something that put, what is the that song to the people loading the salmon into that fish tube. And then it used Pogfish to show the fish traveling through the tube, and then it put a bunch of like trippy visuals over it with that song going. The da-da-da-da-da-da. I thought you were having fun with the solder sucker. Not anymore. Friendship with engineer SSO2 has ended. Modified tweezers are my new best friend. Ah, I'm still going to use the solder sucker. That's I still need to clean the contacts on the board. So, Durham24, thank you for the follow. Same with Pulse. I gotta call out the follows on this channel. That's just what we do here. I know it's like embarrassing for some people. I mean, having your name come up is probably pretty good. I should come up with a new graphic for follows, though. I should have that as something like a ticker tape at the bottom of the screen, like something easy. Sucker Chan. He's dead. And I don't even care. But yeah, if I don't call out follows anymore and I just have like a ticker, because like if I get a raid from a big channel, those follows can really spam things up. And when you turn them off, it's already too late. I could also do a Stream Deck button to turn that off. That was great. We're going to keep doing that. That was great. disable solves so many problems. I don't know. I mean, I like to give people credit for following. I don't know if people enjoy that or not. I can get rid of that visual on the channel, and we could just be one of those places that only honors subs. This one's not going so well. I think part of it is refurbishing the solder. Yeah, part of it is refurbishing the solder. I need to put my own solder on all of these so that they give up the ghost a little bit more easily. What some other channels do is only acknowledge them if they see them as they happen. That's kind of what I've been doing. Is that a sanctioned thing that I'm allowed to do? Greetings, friends of soldering the shit out of it. Yeah, something like that. An end clip with honorary mentions, what, like end credits that fly by in like a split second? That would be kind of cute to do. I would like to get, basically the way visuals should work here, instead of the way that they have been working, is there needs to be a complicated, basically like the text needs to have those fade in. Like when the messages come up, there's like a big flash. I wanted the text to be a little bit more part of that instead of the like block fade in that it does. That's true. I could do what I want on this channel. I could do anything. I could only acknowledge Fatanon. I mean my tier 3 subs. I think you're the only one. I'm not sure. There might be others, but 24 bucks a month, man. That's nuts. I'm happy to acknowledge you for that. That's insane. Hope it's worth your while, because you're streaming bullshit. I'm kind of streaming bullshit. Oh man, there's a smell of burnt slow gin on the solder. Bother snacks. I need to go back into emote mode. We did like 45 seconds of emote creation. I barely made a suffer emote. I think I need to do it on my own without you guys around, because getting all the inspiration and stuff. There's certain emotes that I need to make. I could probably make like a board emote. I had some good ideas for emotes, and they're the ones that you guys want me to make as well, and I need to kind of like refurbish some of them. Bring out some new emotes. Figure out what else I can represent. Steal them from Google Blobs, obviously. Burp loudly on the microphone. Okay, that wasn't so bad. That wasn't a loud one. Oh, no, that was the one that I thought it was. Okay, burp. Sorry about that. I don't like burping and farting on mic. Actually, I think farting finally got banned, right? A red liquid emote. You got red on you. Animated laser emote. Yeah, the animating the laser eye emote would be really cool too. I need to make additional money-based emotes that are purely for tier 3. Tier 3 should only be money emotes, and they need to be more like, you know, the top hat and monocle ones instead of the one holding money is not that good. I need to go back to JoJo Easy Mode, yeah, with the nodders. I need to go back to the, you know, just pure money theme. And I maybe an animated money emote would be good. But falling money, I'd have to find a falling money PNG. Look at how easy that is. That is ridiculous. That's illegal. That's illegal. It's so easy that it's illegal. Can't have nice things. Like drugs. You guys are having fun with drugs? They're illegal now. I'm just shocked at how easy this is now. Electronic chip eating a stack of dollars. Maybe not eating. I never customized channel points either. Like Roboz has his Bitcoom emote and stuff. I could possibly do something like that. I don't know. It's easy to come up with all the ideas, but actually making the emotes takes me a little bit. I can't just like pop it onto the Wacom and draw it. I have a particular style that I use, but it's very pixel by pixel. I have to manipulate individual pixels in order to achieve my artistic vision. But as a result, all the emotes from my channel have a certain unity in their style. Sub badges, bit emotes, follower emotes, yeah, all that stuff. That's a lot of stuff to put together. And then the badges, I like the Nixie tubes. I could come up with something else. I just don't like a lot of the electronics channels that I see have pretty clunky pixel art, and I don't want clunky pixel art, you know? So I gotta come up with something good. A different animated awe, or maybe just the shaking awe, so that people can be obnoxious with it in other streams. The awe emote really gets a lot of use. That was a good emote. Yeah, I'm always kind of little imposter syndrome when I see people using my emotes in other streams. I'm like, oh no, what did I do? And it's like, oh, people are actually like finding my emotes somewhat useful in other contexts. I think that's cool. It's good to see. I like seeing that. I like seeing it. It's neato. Alright, come on. What's holding you back? There we go. Man, this is so much easier like this. On an explosion. That actually is pretty good. Yeah, that was only that emote was only supposed to be my avatar. That was specifically to just be my avatar. I know it's a good emote, but I wanted to have sort of a unique personal avatar to represent my channel. It came out as a decent emote. It's basically the cinnamon toast. What in the cinnamon toast fuck is this emote? Meme, and I just traced it and then gave it a gradient. And I had to do a lot of work on those eyes to get them to not look terrible, because they're claymation eyes. They're actually beads stuck onto a piece of cinnamon toast crunch. The old sweat. Yeah, I think the shorter sweat is something that I should come up, work on. The one that's not as tall. The tall one looks a little awkward. But you guys kept saying that it looked like a penis. Yeah, the other one, the short one that we have in this channel is bacon, but it had the pins on all sides, which is not the way that I'm doing them now. There's two sizes. There's the long chip and the short chip. So it's got to be either of those. So if I make it the short chip, it'll look more like the old emote. You guys kept assigning it to phallic shit. So I had to put the Bosch on it. Only 104 of these. At least this tool is helping it go much more easily. Kind of insane, actually. It's putting enough pressure to disengage the little tabs, and then all I need to do is just wiggle it a little bit. The whole thing comes out. I do like the T emote. Yeah, yay wasn't supposed to be yay. Yay was supposed to be hypers. And I've learned all the wrong names. I probably need to go back and rename a lot of those. Because I named them weird stuff because I kept updating them. And in the old emote system, when you update an emote, you can't put an emote with the same name up. It was so clunky. So now that I can do that, I could probably go back and rename a bunch of the emotes. That's going to make them harder for people to use on the fly. You'll have to learn the new names. Oh, great. Am I going to remember that this one went here? Probably not. Oh, no. It's the hole in the metal that dictates where it is, so that should help. Because there's, like, all these alternate locations for this key. I guess this keyboard can't decide whether it wants to have multiple keys just as spring even thing, to even out the spring force, or whether or not it has the balance bar. Because there's multiple holes for the key that can be used. All right, what's happening here? Come on. I've got like a solder hair that goes through the whole thing. There we go. That took forever. Oh man, it's real nasty in this location. Nasty, nasty. This is so much easier to do this way. Oh yeah, I need to re-up the solder on all these. I need to give them some fresh solder. You're lucky you don't have a numpad. Yep. My friends are always on my case about not having a numpad. They're like, how do you enter numbers? Like, there are numbers on the top row of the keyboard. Even since I was little, I have not used the numpad. Oh, the numpad's faster. Maybe it is, but I've never really struggled that hard to find where the numbers were on a keyboard. You can still enter numbers just fine outside of a numpad. I guess I just didn't learn numpads or something. But like without it, I get so much more space on the desk. Plus, this keyboard is about the size of some of those MIDI devices too. I love the numpad. Well, you're a Neanderthal. I don't know. Yeah, I just don't like the numpad. I like having a little bit more space on the desk and a slightly cuter keyboard. Now, the really limited keyboards, I don't know. People are like, yeah, I'm a programmer, and then they have this keyboard that has no labels on any of the keys, and it has like 12 keys. I'm like, how do you function with that? How does that work? My God, all this solder is just a sacrifice. You can press enter without releasing the mouse? I guess. I guess I'm not saying it's not totally useless, right? It's just I just don't use it. I don't get people that do. I don't know what happened to you. Something's wrong. Something's miswired internally. I think I'm gonna flip this. I think I'm gonna do it like this now, because I need to be closer to the tweezers to hold up this board. I'm not gonna remember anything about how this goes back together, am I? I think the metal piece is gonna mostly guide where the buttons go. Can't live without it. Prefer to type my numbers with it. Yeah, I just don't use it. I don't use it ever. Ever. I mean, I can't use it with this keyboard, but but it's no love lost for me. I don't know how people can be so dependent on such a thing. Oh God, it's like a piece of Cheeto on this one. Look at how easy that is. Oh, it's so good. When I design my new keyboard, without one, I'm making a separate number pad. You can buy that already. You can buy separate number pads. Unless you probably want to design it, like have the style. Most laptops don't have a number pad. Some of them have like a function that you can use to use the number pad. Why buy when I can build? They're like $7. Like $7. They're not expensive. But yeah, no, if you wanna get all the design cues, then yeah. Make your own. God, we gotta break down all these keys too. Doom runs perfectly on numpad. Gonad has that keyboard that has a screen on it. I wonder if that runs Doom. Probably. I don't know if Gonad is still hanging out. People come and go. Hey, what's Bother working on? Oh, Jesus Christ, he's taking apart a keyboard, and then they go on with their life. Oh, he's still here. I didn't expect that. The G9, yeah, Logitech G920. It's probably possible to run Doom. Maybe. How? Okay, so have they like fully optimized Doom into machine language yet? I would have expected people to have done that by now, so you can get it to run on everything. I guess running on machine language is you need to be careful about the functions in the processor that you use. You don't want to overdo it. Am I prying on the right stuff? Yeah. There we go. I need to make sure that this engages in the little snap. See that? Right there. Do heat on one side, heat on the other. Come back to it. Start wriggling. Yeah. Pop. This is so much easier. Everything compiles down to machine language, yeah, but it does it sloppily. Keyboard fixing stream number 3. Now I'm gonna work on this off air. This is just the stuff that I'm showing. What am I waiting for? I'm waiting for when we can find time to do the breadboard RC car circuit, and that'll answer a lot of the questions that I have so that I can proceed with that design. Then I can proceed with that design and I can order parts, and then while parts are on their way, we can work on the PC project a little bit. And I think I want to swap in the PC project too to keep things fresh, right? Just to keep things kind of going. I have some ideas about how I'm going to mount the reservoir now. We've got the 3D prints for the fan adapter, and then burn the subs, of course, I need to pick back up. We need to build the 2-axis test so that we can start looking at software to drive the motors in the directions they need to move. So the instruction set for the processor, there are generic instructions that most processors have, but sometimes there are specific ones, and sometimes you can get, I mean, it's all about flipping bits into registers, right? And that's essentially the construction of a processor, is bits flip into registers, they swap locations, things like that. There's like a math engine in some of them. The $1 camera I posted on your Discord arrived, currently taking it apart. Oh, hell yeah. What was that, like a 1080p? Did that get? Hard to emulate PC speaker? Yeah. I can't believe that back in the day you could buy like $8,000 MIDI interpreters. So you could make really, really good sounds out of really, really shit speakers. What's his name? Crap. Who did those Halo videos that I linked? YouTuber, animator. Damn it, I forget the guy's name. Anyway, he did a whole thing on sound in PCs and sort of where we got to with game audio and stuff like that, and the evolution of it. Really cool video. Noodle's the guy's name. He makes a good video. It's a video for kind of younger people though, but he speaks about stuff that I like. 420p. It's a reverse camera. Oh, I was gonna put a reverse camera on my drone as the primary first-person view cam. I had to open it up and flip a little solder wire because that flipped the video so that it wasn't like upside down. When I was able to mount it to the front of the drone. Pretty good little FPV. It's a little bullet cam. God, there's so many goddamn buttons. No controller will ever rival the number of fucking buttons that a keyboard has. Whew. It's potted in hard silicone? Oh god, no. Oh, that's what you're doing to the to the reverse cam too? Yeah. Yeah, this is a little tiny bullet cam. This is pretty cool. I still have it. Just has a composite out. It didn't cost $1 though. It costed some dollars. It wasn't that expensive, but it did cost like 30 or something bucks. I should have just used it as a reverse camera. Just grab a screen. I should do that instead of the CD changer in my car, or the CD player that my car has, because it's got an old radio. I should install a reverse cam. I don't have like a nav screen anymore because I sold that car. So the station wagon has an old BMW radio in it from 1999, which is great because it's timeless. It matches the design of the car. The cars with nav screens, man, they're dated. They're gonna stink of the era for when that navigation was produced. And actually, people have run into problems with the old BMW nav discs because they're old. They don't have all the streets on them anymore, and they're no longer supporting that format. They're not producing those CDs anymore. People were able to hack it though, and they created a CD that also contained the locations of speed cameras. But in addition to that, you can now replace your system with one that resembles the design of the car, but it's an Android phone. So that's pretty cool. So you can talk to truckers in your car? No, not a CB radio. Not a CB radio. I had a CB radio for a bit. It was always weird going into work and somebody was just saying the N-word over and over on the CB, and I'm like, what the fuck? You didn't get all that much good information from the CB radio. I expected to hear truckers talking to each other a bit more, but it just never really happened. Too short range. I had a whole mount for the antenna on my car and everything. It's great. It was great, except for moments like, you know, going into work and listening to somebody just spamming the same word over and over again outside of the... And by the way, work was the Quantico Marine Base. So, like, I think people probably had CB radios on base. Could probably hear what that guy was saying. Yeah, it's the radio version of Xbox Live. That's exactly right. That's exactly what it was like. Did you have a call sign? No, I mostly just listened. Call sign could have been... No, I won't say it. I see these guys really love that convoy movie. In a trucker convoy. Dun dun through the night. Robert Ducky. You got your desoldering method down. Yeah, these are modified tweezers, Ozzy. What I did, these are basically those heatsink tweezers, the ones that auto pinch, the ones you never use. And I took them and I bent in the ends and then cut them flush so that lol butts sub to tier 1. God damn it, Twitch. God damn you. That's a great name. Thank you so much for subbing. Yeah, what I did is I bent them out and in and then flush cut them so that they've got a wide pad. And what that does is it engages both of the tabs that hold this thing into the metal, and it gives me a handle so I can just kind of wiggle it and pull it out. So that's why this is going so much better now. Okay, sorry, I didn't mute for that. Lol butts. Let's switch up on the board. Excuse me. God, I'm coughing and burping into the mic. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I usually mute for that stuff. I've had just kind of like a nagging cough for a long time. It's not even a thing. It's just like my brain just tells me that I need to cough, even though I don't. I don't feel anything. Lol butts, you're going by Kermit710, and I nut in your... Oh, God. And Rocco Vax, and Fettinger. Welcome to the board. Thank you so much for subbing. It's a good name. Anyway, back over to this. Back over to desoldering a keyboard. One key at a time. At least we got the method. We got the method that's going to let us do this fast. Having a little pulling tool is very important for this, apparently. God, this is disgusting. This is real gross shit that we're getting into here. This is above and beyond the Call of Duty, by the way. Like, if your keyboard shits the bed as righteously as mine did, it's time for a new keyboard for most people. If you have a soldering iron, you can probably do this. It's a pain in the ass, though. And I'm gonna get medieval on this fucking shit. I'm gonna pull these keys apart. I'm gonna bisect all the keys, well, so that they go back together in the end, and really clean them out. Did you video your CNC laser? I have 2 YouTube videos to my name. I promised a third and I never made it. I really need to... Maybe I should just use the main channel as the archive channel. Archive chan. I don't know where I'm going to start archiving, though. I got 2 hard drives that are basically full of streams that I need to cut the intro and the outro off of. Or just cut the intro off of. Be nice if I had like a video manager for that. Azzy Drummer, thank you for the bits. Appreciate that. Pencil torches are great for mass disassembly. Problem is I've got too many things surrounding. There's like diodes all over this thing. It's me, diode. It's easy enough for me to just bounce between the contacts, too. It's not putting up much of a fight. When the solder's old, it does. Look at that. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Squeezy that lemon. Squeezing that lemon. I don't know why we're squeezing lemons, but you know how it is. You know how it is out here on the streets. Streets are tough. Yeah, I need to add solder to some of these. Some of these are just like covered in gunk. Some of these are just covered in gunk. I think if you use the BTS command, it'll link you to my video. But it's the only one I've really made. I need to get back into video editing too. But the problem is for me, editing video is it's not a habit, and it needs to be. It's like something I get to ignore, and then I'll just ignore it forever. So if I take my channel and I turn it into a VOD channel, I can at least organize playlists based on projects, and then I can cut the music intro, get right to where I start working on stuff. Look for any copyrighted music. I don't think there would be any in any of them, and just hoist them up onto the VOD channel. I don't know how far back I'm gonna go with that though, because it's 3 streams a week. That's a lot to upload to YouTube, especially given that I'm gonna have a giant chunk of them to start off with. It is a minimal amount of video editing. Rendering it is going to be annoying. And then if the channel starts making money, that's fucking scary, because everyone has a YouTube story where they'll blank something out because they're like, we're blanking this out because you were supporting terrorism. And you're like, what? What did I do? You've got words that you're not allowed to say. That's so stupid. And then some other company is going to come in and try to steal your money, because that's their entire business plan, is steal money from YouTubers. Fucking hate it, man. It's ridiculous. Like, it's such a big problem, and YouTube is just happy to be like, peons, you need to follow what we're doing. I miss it when YouTube wasn't Google. When it was owned by just some guys. Everybody was a little edgelord on it. It was great. And people were just making videos to be stupid. Not trying to monetize every single human activity, which is part and parcel of what I'm doing right now. So I'm not glass house, you know. Me and my glass house asking you guys for your couch change so that I can continue to solder stuff. Some of these keys are red. Ugh. The laser board will be your downfall. It kind of already is. I need to like really start biting into the update on the board. But yeah, some of the names on the board are like instant demonetization, aren't they? Fun funny and also, oh no. Funny, sad, a little bit of both. Ooh, this one's tough because there's a clip right there. You can barely get that in. All right, there we go. That might do it. Yeah. Trucker convoy. I got that stuck in my head, and I don't really know much of that song. I think it's just like a song for the like the movie preview. I don't know if it was like an actual song. Bam! Look at that. What a beautiful tool I've invented. I deserve praise. Made my job so much easier. Got it. So I was listening to NPR today, because it's just fucking what I have on in the car when I'm not listening to other stuff. And they had another one of these self-righteous fucks on there who are just there to praise their own book. Oh, they annoy me so much. He's just speaking in this monotone. He didn't even like vary up how his voice was, like the cadence in his voice or anything like that. He's just speaking in monotone, and basically his entire thing was, my famous dad is dead, and I wrote a book on it, and now I'm famous. And it's like, I don't care about this guy. Like, you guys like play the news or something? But no, I had to listen to this pretentious fucking prick talk about how far his head up is up his own ass. Oh my god. I don't know why anybody would listen to just one person talking about themselves. Anyway, so the projects that I'm working on. I don't know, just something about him just rubbed me the wrong way. I don't even need to disengage this one from the metal. I could just pull the contacts out. Ah! The last key is the escape key. Oh no, it's left control, sorry. Should have left it poetically, it would have worked out. Man, this thing's not fitting in. When there's these brackets right next to it, it doesn't really fit in properly. Here we go. Pile of keys. Pile of keyboard. Metal front face. Oh my god. This is just gnarly. Yep. There's generational goo. Oh man. Well, that's the damage. Oh dear lord. See, I thought I sprayed it out pretty adequately with alcohol, but there is enough gunk on this that I am legitimately afraid. Like, why are there scorch marks up here? That's nasty. Hey man, you got one of these too. Not the same keyboard, but let's not judge too harshly. We've all got them. Mine might even be considered partially clean, and by comparison. Why are they like weird? Oh, because there are components on the other side. Oh, this is a 2-layer PCB. Oh my god. Oh my god. All right. So the rest of my evening is going to consist of, first of all, I need to get that alcohol. I don't have alcohol. I'm not going to run this under the sink. Somebody help me with my SSD. That's kind of a Discord thing. Unless it's a very quick question, but otherwise, that's more of a Discord thing. Because then we have more time and more ability to actually see what you say. We've got better means by which to answer, right? Can't be as bad as the G920. I got a combo of decade-old bong water and Cheeto dust. I mean, this suffered from Slogan, which is a liqueur made out of fucking sugar and berry, British berry, and gin. And then I added gin to it. And then I added it to my keyboard. So, it's good stuff, but man, is it it stains and it gets everywhere. Slow gin is damn tasty. Yeah, it's. I thought people were gonna give me shit for the drink because people always do that. They like to give you shit for basically anything you do online. I wasn't gonna tell you guys what the drink was, but yeah, I've got to desolder all of these, open up the holes, and then run this thing under alcohol, scrub, because it is sticky. It's actually a little bit sticky. I don't want to touch the face of it. I don't think the Cheeto dust got in, but there were some chunks. I mean, look at that. It's so disgusting. So that's where we are with this. I believe that the remainder of the tasks that I have at hand are going to be too boring to stream. That was pretty boring in and of itself, and I'm sorry to have to subject you guys to that, but it was good to hang out for a couple hours. We're at, it's an hour before I would normally end. So I can take a little bit of time here to start disassembling some of the buttons just to see how bad it is. Let's find the crustiest button and disassemble it. Because, yeah, this needs some careful rework, not on-camera rework. The language center of my brain just shutting down for a minute there. This was by far the best thing that I could have done, is alter a tool in order to create a specific type of grasper for these keys. So this very specifically is designed to engage the side tabs of the Cherry MX switch, press them in, and give me enough of a handle that I can wiggle it out and then just pull the whole thing. That turned possibly an all-day job into like an hour job or two. Yeah, bespoke tool. I bespoke to this tool. Let's disassemble some of these keys. Let's find some of the really grody ones. The arrow keys, I believe, are the epicenter of the spill. Look at all the solder that I wasted, though. Jesus. I didn't even need to waste all this solder. It's a significant amount. Ugh, into the trash. All right, bring out your nasty. Who is the nastiest of all of these? I've got to bathe the LEDs too. Solder extruder. I wonder what that would be like. If I could make it do solder and filament. There's still a lot of hair in this. Yeah. Here, you guys need to come closer. Closer. All right, I'm gonna look directly down. Usually I'm looking at the video window, and my hands are covered in rubbing alcohol residue from like sterile rubbing alcohol residue, not like 90% isopropyl. So I can already taste that alcohol taste. It gets on my beard, and then I taste it for the day. Still haven't figured out what food I'm gonna get too. Some of these are like brand new. They're still gonna get pulled apart, and I'm still gonna put dielectric grease on the insides, possibly every sliding contact, because like this one feels crunchy, but it doesn't show any signs of any liquid infiltration. This one feels new, looks new, but there's still little droplets, little chatlets on it. All right, let's see if I can find one that looks particularly grody. I'm looking for ones that show signs on top of the key of having liquid in them. The one we did was pretty much the worst. Naxanthorus. Oh, get a big cheese pizza. Yes. Spray isopropyl is even worse, direct to the eyeballs. That's what, I had it in one of those air cans where I can put air, like I put 100 PSI on the can of air, and then I've got a little squirt bottle. So that's what I was doing. I gave it like several baths of isopropyl, and it like sprayed all over my face and beard. And so I go to take a sip of seltzer later that day, and I'm like, I got full isopropyl treatment. So I went up and I washed my face, and then as soon as my face was drying, it was still getting alcohol from my beard, from like the inside portions of my beard. Yeah, I'm glad it wasn't acetone or brake cleaner. Yeah, brake cleaner is terrible. Naxanthorus. Yeah, there we go. Thank you for the sub. You get your name up. You're right above. You are being shellfish. That technically it shouldn't collide, but unfortunately it did. There's probably some programming error in the board that's causing our keep out distance to not really properly be respected. It would take a little bit of like rendering of what's going on in the background for us to kind of pin that problem on something, because a lot of the board uses visual stuff. It uses pixel images, but we don't output any of that stuff, so we'd have to put some Python code in there, and I am rusty with Python. I have not touched Python in a while. Bathe it in Diet Cola. It's got to be Diet Cola. Diet Cola is good for electronics. Oh, here we go. This one looks a little red. Not as crusty on the edges, but it is carrying a lot of hair. I don't even know where these hairs belong. These are like head hairs. They're too thin. No, that's not a head hair. So we'll call that a beard hair. Oh my God. There's so much hair. There's a lot of hair. Let's see. Candidates for the grodiest of the keys. I think this one that I'm holding is probably a pretty good one. I'm looking at the edges to see if there's like residue on them, because some of them are pretty grody. Some of them are, oh, actually this one just, ooh, okay, all right. Take a look here. Beard hair is a type of head hair. Yeah, there you go. All right, so this one, here's one that looks really grody. Here's one that does not look grody at all. You can see the difference in the color of the cap of the press part. Not good. Not good. This one feels relatively new. Let's take a look at the damage here. It's a lot of damage. Okay, these things do not sit flat. I can't like say, look at it, here it is. Okay, there we go. All right, so let's take this one apart. I'm gonna end up taking them all apart. Excuse me, but we'll start with this one. So it's 4 snaps holding the thing together. This is the one that held it to the actual, like, to the metal, which is why the pincer comes in here and here and just presses those in and allows me to pull the key away. But these on the other side, the 4 tabs, are the ones holding the key together. I don't really like giving it up. I don't like giving up the ghost. I gotta kind of persuade them without breaking the tabs. Breaking a tab on this would be kind of obnoxious, because then I'd have to order another key. I don't have any cherry spares sitting around. Some people buy custom spring sets for these fuckers, which is just an incredible amount of our artism. Armpit hair? I don't think so. Print yourself a key switch opener if you're going to open all of them. I don't need one. I can just do that. I'm doing it slow because I'm doing it on camera. So a lot of the gumminess is being caused by the liquid getting into the sides of this. This is supposed to be a slidey plastic, and it is not being slidey. I cannot focus this camera today. The other part of it is the electrical contact. What is the state of the electrical contact? It's not in focus and it's driving me nuts. I'm trying to get light in there so that I can see the actual contact. I think it's in good shape. There's no liquid on it. Slogan dampers. Ew. Ew. Ew, 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 ew. Yeah, I think a lot of the stuff is on the column. There's like a little, I can see a little glint in the corner. What concerns me is that it did not damage the contacts at all. I'll have to take a look at every single contact and do a little contact review for it. Because I think some of them are probably in bad shape. I mean, the ones with scorched pads are particularly scary to me. So what I would need to use isopropyl on these so that the alcohol doesn't, so that whatever liquid I use doesn't screw up the key contact, right? I won't put them back with the same tops and bottoms. They're all going to get discombobulated. It'd be kind of cool to come up with like a circuit board that goes there that would register when you press the button and then fade from one color to another. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. That's too much work. But yeah, this is a son of a bitch. I think dielectric grease for the plastic on plastic contacts, I don't think it's really necessary here. I guess you could put it here, but that wouldn't really do anything. Wouldn't really do anything. Alrighty. Well, that's the task that I have in front of me. Move all the contacts, clean up the pins, get them all in a bath. You can see what happened. I mean, it was a righteous spill. I didn't know the nature of the spill, you know, how terrible it was. It turns out it was pretty bad. Now the MX clears have a very soft spring on them. I don't think I'm gonna go out of my way to get new springs. This is a tremendous amount of work for a keyboard. Yeah, I know. I know, that's the nature of the beast though. I made my bed, I'm going to sleep in it, you know? I'll just make piles of the stuff and clean out all the hairs when I get to them. The removal tool is probably going to be an important thing, though. I think that might be an important thing if I'm going to be going through so many of these. I could make one, or I could probably 3D print one. Just being able to do this quickly, I might just have to sit here and just be kind of ponderous about it for a while. If that's going to work. It's kind of not. The screwdriver method is pretty sound, but what are these up against? Oh god, there's even slogen in the tabs that hold the thing together. Oh my god. Okay, so if I made a tool that just went up to those, then the thing would slide up. I just don't want to break any of them. Yeah, the plastic can only bend so much. I could modify, which I've done before, and I'll do it again. That'll work. Yeah, I could use this. Harder to get this thing under, though. Oops, I just snapped those back. Maybe I need one that does all four at once. Might be the way to go. Or just pull on the top. Maybe that'll do. Maybe that'll do it. Probably could make like a little jig. Yeah, this isn't getting under it as easily. That doesn't really work. It's too thick. Too thick. Heard that before. Need something like this. Yeah, having to lift the tabs carefully is a pain in the ass. It certainly is. That was designed for this kind of work. Spring pile, tab pile, top pile, bottom pile. That's how it's gonna work. That's gonna be my next couple of hours. I will not bring you guys on that torture run. God, I only wasted 10 minutes doing that? Oh my god. Yeah, I can't justify continuing this stream. That's 2 short streams in a row. Sorry guys, when I run out of stuff to do, I just can't, I can't drag it out. I'm going to be scrubbing circuit boards. I'm going to be taking apart these switches, putting them in probably glass bowls, and then drowning them in alcohol. And then I'll drown myself in alcohol. And then I'll wake up and I'll come back down here and we'll take apart that thing the other Lone Star sent in, that video recorder. That thing's going to be pretty cool, and hopefully we can fill up a whole stream with that. I probably won't be done with the keyboard by then, so we can fall back to the keyboard, we can fall back to the RC car. So removing heat shrink with surgical scissors is what always gets. Oh, with the puncture wounds. Yeah, I haven't had any puncture wounds recently, but usually it's when a screwdriver skips on something and I just graze myself. My last injury, which I'm so glad it's gone because it was really uncomfortable. That little swollen end of the thumb there, that was because I was breaking support material off of the 3D print, and it scraped off enough material from right in front of my thumb knuckle that it created a really hard scab. So whenever I bent my thumb, it was like searing pain. Finally fell off. That thing sucked. But yeah, like, apparently, I mean, you are the softest. Like, people are made out of fucking pudding. It's insane. You're just made out of pudding. PETG. It's decently strong. I didn't think it could remove flesh. Apparently it can. So I got to be more careful when breaking off support material from 3D prints. That's what got me. I don't know what else to say. Absolutely freaking insane. Okay, so I'm going to continue to work on the keyboard without you. Beep, beep, beep. Hi, BG was entered 2.5 hours ago. Yeah, it's because he ate lunch. Fucking prick. Asshole, little pump. Anyway, my body is made out of regrets and garbage. Well, it's kind of a type of pudding. I want to thank the raiders today, and especially that host. That was a big, meaty host. That was from... Oh, what happened to my Streamlabs? Wait, where did that go? Oh, God, it's buried. Hold on. Oh, wait. Why does it still show those? Oh, there we go. Okay. There we go. No, it's still showing the stuff that I... See, I'm trying to get it to show raids, but it won't. I unclicked all the filters. It's like, okay, I'll hide those from you, and then it just shows them anyway. I only have hosts and raids, and it's showing me tier 1 subs. I don't have tier 1 subs shown. You have to unclick them individually? Yeah. Yeah, there we go. There was a thing where... No, it didn't do it. It still shows them. All right, well, anyway, Big Wave, Code Rushed. Stefan IRL was the big meaty one. Bald Engineer was yesterday. So Stefan IRL had a huge meaty raid. Big Wave, raiding with a party of 8. Code Rushed, party of 24. Thank you guys. I really do appreciate all those raids. That's really nice of you guys to give me raids. Yeah, Stefan or Steven IRL. I cannot seem to cheer. What am I doing wrong? I don't really know what's going on with Twitch today. I don't know if people are doing stuff. Gatum is doing Divine Wind. Project Zomboid again. God of War VR is what Djibouti Show is doing right now. All right, you guys can split, go where you feel like it. I'm just gonna void the stream. I'm just gonna stop. Oh, Davies is on too. Yeah, he's doing My Summer Car. I'm not gonna raid My Summer Car right now. I don't want to do that. I love Davies. You guys should check him out. He's playing My Summer Car. I'm still gonna be at the bench, but I'm not gonna be streaming. I'm just gonna try to get through all of this busy work. It's slow, SLOE. It's not slow Jin. And that's Jin has like a fundamental speed. It's one of the physical laws of the universe. Anyway, this is getting into the deep crustiness of my keyboard, and I need to now scrub. My hands are going to be disgusting. And then I'll order a pizza, and then I'll eat the pizza and go, am I tasting rubbing alcohol or pizza? We'll find out.